Time to get to it on a Monday evening. Welcome to the show. My name just happens to be Kevin Barnes. I am the mayor of Chocolate City, the architect of the People's News Network, as well as the People's Network. Welcome to the show, man. It's Outlaw Radio live from the basement. Like I said, it's Monday. We haven't been on since last week, so you know I'm itching to go. But I got my co-host with me, so I got to remain calm, cool, and collective. Mr. Witch Doctor.
Hey.
How you doing?
What's happening, y'all? Life is what's happening. Welcome to Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk, and we definitely walk that walk. Raising vibrations and elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the culture, teacher, hood, healer, the ghetto witch doctor. Hey, mama, can't go to CMOS, man!
There we go. Black business. This is Small Black Business Month. If you didn't know, now you do. What else can you do as a person of color besides support a black business? It's the most easiest thing that you could do. Welcome to the show, man. It's Outlaw Radio, like I say, and people always ask me, Kev, you do this podcast. You've been doing this podcast forever. What is this about? And I always tell them it's about black people. And then they say, well, but what do you talk about? And I say, black people stuff. So that's the gist of the show. There's a number involved with the show. It's 262-202-5131. 262-202-5131. We also have a very, very affluent, I did say affluent chat room. It shakes. It shakes harder than the phone, surprisingly. Dion is already in there, as you can tell. Put up on the screen. Says hello. He's looking for us. The show ain't even started. We ain't even logged on yet. I don't know how he does it. Says okay. There you go. Erica Hunt, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? She said, "What it do, Outlaws? How you doing, my sister? Welcome to the show. Share the show. Share the show. Share the show. Share the link. Share the YouTube page. You do all that you can to support us, man." Ewalk the Greats in the chat room as well. He said, "Yep, sir. Yes, sir." I would say back to him. Listen, man. It is Mississippi slave hot outside. It's civil rights hot, right? You might need somebody to spray you with a fire hose because it's that hot. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's oh my Lord,
Man.
Lord, hot.
So if I came on here like, how y'all doing tonight? Y'all should have understood.
I'd have knew it. I'd have knew where you was coming from. I've been out there all day.
Yeah, been out there heat, man. And that's why I'm tripping because I'm looking at you and you got on a hoodie. And so,
see, I'm in my basement, right?
Right.
There's
Okay.
some air here.
Right.
I'm down here in the basement, man. It's a little cool, you know what I mean?
Right. That's a little flex because I know people who got central air don't understand that you will be in the house with some cover on.
That was damn. Without flexing.
I mean, you know, it is what it is. Right. My mama used to say everybody ain't able.
But yeah, it was a scorcher out there, man. I spent my afternoon downtown, man, down there at the child support office, running around different rooms in the courthouse.
Oh, Lord.
Down there getting my arrears taken off.
Okay, there you go.
Getting my arrears taken off. Yeah, man, I found out my license was suspended from child support, man. I got to go there. I had to get them to clear that up, give them some money.
You didn't know all that? Usually cats know when because the child support is gangster. They be on your ass.
Yeah, man, they gangsters a motherfucker. You know what's fucked up? Like, brothers with like 6, 7, 8, 9 kids that don't do shit for their kids. Why you don't ever hear nothing about child supporting them?
You know what? Interestingly enough,
there are with 1 kid, 2 kids that take care of their kids and shit. That be going through all kind of bullshit.
There's a lot of brothers, and I know a lot of us wouldn't want to hear this, but there's a lot of brothers who have 1, 2, maybe even 3, 4, 5, what you said, and they don't do nothing for none of them. And you see the mama struggling, and you thinking like, why don't you go down there and get checked? Like, why don't you go to court? Now I don't want to get, but it'd be the dude who got one where the mama would be like, I want everything he got. I want him sleeping in his car. Fuck him. And be like, damn.
Or even just you don't hear nothing about nothing happening to them. Like you don't hear about them getting no liens put on their shit. You don't hear about them losing their license. You don't, you know what I mean?
I'm here to tell you, just because they don't say it, it's happening to them, Kamar.
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
believe it, but what the
Oh
fuck
yeah,
we don't see?
yeah. It happens. Yeah, a lot of them will tell you some horror
Police
stories,
pulled
man.
me over. Hey, police pulled me over. He come to the car after he go look at my license. He was like, "Yeah, man. Did you know your license suspended? And I never seen this reason before. Is it for child support?" I said, "Damn, that's fucked up. Cause this my child right here next to me."
You did the Mayor Johnson. You bullshit.
That's fucked up.
You bullshit. What can look? Come on. At that point, what can you do? This is where we come into the discussion of what real nigga etiquette is, right? Especially
Right.
when dealing with the police. What can you do at this point? And say, oh man, I didn't even know, officer. I'm just trying to get home. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully he give you a pass instead of, man, what the fuck you put me
And
out for anyways?
I think at first it's a level of accountability sometimes,
There you
what you
go.
got to take before they give you a pass.
Like,
You
damn,
know what I'm saying? Like, damn, man, you right. You know what I'm
got me.
saying? I get it. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. Through my life, what I learned was when I hold myself accountable, when I do something wrong or I get in some kind of trouble, I get in less trouble. It's
Yeah,
weird, dog. Like how that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, somebody do something to you, but you can't be so upset after they done came and apologized and told you how they fucked up. You
well,
know what I mean?
you just put a bunch of different things together because you said, first of all, you started out with the word accountability. And
Hmm.
people got to understand that, and this ain't like nothing against you like that, but it's your fault. You got to take it like
Right.
that. It's my
No
fault.
doubt.
My license is suspended, as opposed to, oh, the whole world is trying to get me. The white man trying to get me. This bitch want my blood. You got to say, you know what? I should have been handled this. Let me, like
Hmm.
you did. You went down there today and said, I'll be
Right.
here all day. What officer, what
And
room I
me
got
and
to
him
go to?
cracked me and the officer actually cracked a little joke about it. You know what I mean? Like I said, like, yeah, that's fucked up, man. My daughter right here. You know what
Right,
I'm saying? But my license suspended for child support, but I got my child.
right. Yeah, man.
That, that's
Wisconsin
fucked
is
up.
entirely a woman's state, and a lot of brothers can testify to this. Wisconsin is a state where if you go to court, especially on any kind of family court, like it's hard on the man
Hmm.
because it's a not it's a marital property state, right? And it's no fault divorce because we don't have alimony here.
Right.
So when you go to court for a divorce, it's not about who cheated, guilty. No, it's not about that. It's about,
Mm-mm.
okay, liquidate
Oh,
any possessions and go y'all separate ways.
right.
So with child support, it's straightforward like that too. You the
Right.
father, you ain't
Shout out
married,
to hey, shout out to my
you got
daughter
the
mother though, because
support.
you know what I mean. She ain't having no problem getting rid of it. We go back in about a month to get rid of child support. Period. You
There
know
you
what I
go.
mean? To get it up off of me. And man, that lady was on her case too. She was like, if you do this, you won't get any benefits. She said,
Trying to
"Why hardly
steer,
get benefits anyway?" And he take care of his daughter.
trying to steer.
And listen, when she said that he take care of his daughter, man, I'm gonna tell you, I felt so good in there, man. Like, yeah, y'all don't hear that much now. Like, y'all don't hear that
Right,
much.
right, right. You know, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you.
Yeah, it was dope.
Shout out to every brother down there trying to handle his business in them courts.
Yeah, 'cause they was down there going through it. There was one brother into it with the lady at the window and shit, man. Like, yeah, it's fucked up, man. And I feel what he was going through.
Always do. Always do. But brothers, let me tell you something. Don't be so quick to spread your seed so far and wide, man. Listen here.
That's
Listen
right.
here. I look, I know it feel good. I know pillow talk.
Be
Man,
smart.
you gotta be smart. You have to
Intellect
be
over
smart.
emotion, fellas. Intellect
Man,
over emotion.
man, pride over penis. Did that sound gay? I'm sorry. No,
Love
no,
over
didn't.
lust.
Oh shit. Love over lust. Hey man, thought before action. How about that one?
Hey, we can go all night with this.
Right. I'm trying to tell
Get
you.
shit
Like,
together, brothers. We can go all night with this.
you gotta be careful. And look, no, I ain't trying to ride on no brothers. 'Cause I got a lot of partners who got, multiple baby mothers and numerous, as they say, a
That's
numerous
cool. They take
amount of
care of their
kids.
kids though.
As long as you taking care of them, bro. Like, but when you start, be careful. So I tell a
Mm,
young brother right now, like I tell my own son, hey man, be careful. Be like, think. Like, because you don't want this trail of, and it's just gonna fuck your life up, man. Just wait. And now, if you ready, now some brothers like Rail, who's on the show, he always says, well, I was married at a young age and I had two. What can you say about that? But I'm talking about a cat who just club hopping, man, and raw back bopping.
Got a baby in every hood in the
man, the Marlboro man. What you talking about? He don't need no saddle to ride the horse. Erica Hunt said,
no saddle.
Yeah, tripping. It's hot enough for the beach. Look, man, this is real. And I want people to take a snapshot, take a mental snapshot, right? Because in 3 months, you will forget this day ever existed. Because it will probably be 26 degrees. And it's going to be cold for the next 7 months. So don't fix your mouth to complain.
It's cold outside.
Man, this shit's, man. Look, you was crying when it was 98. You cry when it's 28. Shut up and enjoy it.
Shut up, fool. Shut up.
Get you some hot chocolate and get your ass somewhere and sit down, right? Get your electric blanket. Dion says, is the phone system working better? I don't know. You try to call in, we'll see. I know my cameras wouldn't work if it looked a little, my shot don't look as high definition as it does because both of my cameras said, fuck you. I said, hey, man, I got another one. One monkey don't stop no show, man.
Straight up.
But what, and this means now I have a reason to upgrade, right? So I be having like a surplus of shit, and I be wanting to upgrade, but you only got 3 of them. So now I'm like, I got a reason now. I'm gonna go buy me something slick. So, but if you're tripping on the shot, it is what it is. Your eyes don't deceive you. Jeff Crate, man, how you doing, my brother? He said, I missed you, gents. Outlaws, welcome to the show, Jeff. Down in Texas, right? By way of the 414. Homie, as a matter of fact, grew up right around the corner from me. Dion, he's in the chat room, say, hell yeah, I only got 1 child myself, and I know about child support. Yeah, I learned, the harshest, my first instance with child support was just going to court with my brother and watching how they, you know what I mean? Like how they handled him. And it was crazy. And like you just stated, for years and years and years, there was these problems of, man, my fishing license, my hunting license, my driver's license. It was just this roundabout. Mm-hmm. And I do believe he was able to straighten his out with the mother of his children eventually. So shout out to her. Shout out to sister-in-law, ex-sister-in-law, right? So I know I watched him go through it. I watched him deal with it, Kamar. That's why I said, when you said that, I'm like, well, yeah, that's not, but I thought they send you a letter at least to say, hey, bro, you ain't tight, right?
If they did, I missed it.
Right, that's a possibility too. And that's why that accountability is important. Because you got to be able to say, I ain't gonna even lie. I ain't been looking in the mail for that shit.
Right.
Ain't no telling where that letter went, Kamar.
Straight up. I wasn't expecting that.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah. Shout out to you, man, for handling that business and showing cats this is what you do. You don't just get, I'm gonna go down there. No, you
go take care of that shit before you wind up in deeper shit than you win.
Go. Let me see if my phone, I don't know if my phone.
That business.
I didn't hear nothing. Dion, are you with us?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me this week?
Can you hear him, Kamar?
Yeah.
Well, you with us then. What's happening, man?
Nothing, man. I just wanted to, give you a test run, man, and see was everything all right. Because, we going to pop our shit in this motherfucker tonight, man. We got to make this motherfucker last 11 o'clock so I get off work, man. We be getting off at 9:17 and 12 and all that shit. Like, I got a lot to talk about, for real. I've been reading the goddamn, you know what? I meant to send you that shit with the Project 2025 about the education savings account and shit. Like, it's some shit up in there that seems like a little beneficial, but it slipped my mind for me to send it to you. But I just wanted to see if we on tonight, man. That's all. I'm glad you got that shit taken care of Bull, because, man, I remember when I was on that child support, I just got done paying in 2017. Like, really, I just got done paying. You know what I'm saying? Had liens on my vehicles and all type of shit. I ain't give a fuck about that shit. Let me get this woman this money. She kissed my ass, she owed me $100 and some. I was going to call her today, but I said, man, you took care of my daughter. I ain't going to switch you about that little money. Fuck it. It is what it is. But, I'm glad that we all made it through the weekend. I showed up for Keon's funeral Friday, man. It was It was beautiful, man. It was heartfelt. It was warm. And, to see, you know what, the part that touched me, man, because, I'm a grown man, 46 years old, but to see grown men cry, to see and to know the impact that he made on some of the brothers there and the people, man, it was just so heartfelt, man. It was heartfelt, man. And I hate my old guy, Keon Jackson Malone, gone, man. But, we all got to take that walk some sooner than others. But, I'm going to get off here, and then when I jump back on this highway, because I got to swap this trailer shit out, I know I don't want to be making all that noise and shit. I'll call you back, man. But I'm glad we made it, man, and much love to the Outlaws, man. It's almost 2025, baby.
Almost.
I'm gone.
All right. Yeah, look, y'all can hit the line, man. It's working, obviously. Thank you, Dion, for being the guinea pig, so to speak. We've spoken to the loss of brother Keon, and tremendous loss. Just a really active brother, just really visible, just out here trying to ice skate uphill in this community, man. This community is very frustrating. And to be consistent with trying to be out here doing something positive is very difficult, right? And the one thing about that brother is, and I didn't have like a really close relationship with him, met him a couple times. Actually, he did the boards, Kamar, when we did the takeover at WNOP. One of those shows, he did the boards. So he was smooth that day with us. It wasn't no, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. He was a smooth brother.
But I never really heard nobody say nothing negative about him, and usually, in that field, in that realm, nobody ever always, man, dude's cool. Like, I remember when I was with the Panthers, he actually came up. We were in Sherman Park, and he came up. We was in there like 25 deep, and he came up and stood and talked with us. But at that time, I wasn't even paying attention. Like, I was there, but I wasn't like,
Right.
So you never know, man. You cross paths with people. It's like a Black Forrest Gump. Spoiled fool Dion in the chat room. He said, I didn't know Sean was that short. Yeah, man. You're one sandwich short of a picnic basket. Man.
Stumping.
Man. Say rest in peace to that brother, man. Good journey, my brother. And then Kamar, the hot button thing, and it's still going, the hot button topic and this incredible debate of our presidential election, and it's ongoing. It is ongoing. Like, you think, okay, everybody done said what they got to say. Now let's just go vote and see what happens. No, it gets deeper and deeper. And it's usually us against each other on just a whole other level, right? And so, but I started to think about a couple key things when it comes to this. And I want y'all to share this show. Because I want to say this to Black people. I don't think nobody has said this. I think this is the first time you're going to hear somebody say this. Within all the conversations that are had about this presidential election, right? Brothers can come up to you and they can tell you about her judicial record. She's not black. She's whatever. A bed wench, whatever. But the most important question that you need to ask the person who's talking to you is, are you actually going to vote? Right? Would you have voted anyways if she wasn't, if it was Biden versus Trump? See, because if you're a person who's not going to vote at all anyways, and you just like, well, I ain't voting for neither one of them, then why are we still talking? Like, you shouldn't waste your time with that. Like, all right, well, why are you talking to me about who I'm voting for and you're not actually even going to vote? That's one side of it. The second side of it is, I'm actually happy, Kamar, a little bit to see Black people being so asinine about their vote all of a sudden. I'm happy that we acting like little spoiled kids all of a sudden about our vote. Because for a long time, we just was going along to get along. Okay. I'm hearing Black people now talking about who's doing something for Black people. Where the policy at? Where's reparations? What are they going to do for us? What's in it for us? We've never been like this before. Especially to the point where we ain't even voting for this motherfucker. Because he ain't black, she ain't black, and she ain't got no policy for us. Usually we you know what I'm saying? We go along to get along. So I feel like Black people kind of sticking out their chest a little bit, saying, nah, what you gonna do for me? We should have been like this, but I'm happy to see this. So with all the back and forth and all the arguing and all the chatter, just understand I'm happy that you feel a certain way about it. Because usually you don't have no feelings. You have, that's why our turnout is so low. So the two questions is, are you going to vote before you talk to me about this? And I'm not asking you who you're voting for. I'm saying, are you going to vote? That's number one. Number two would be, are you really standing up at this point saying from now on out, when it comes to our vote, we're going to be very, very picky and petty about the shit. So you're going to have to earn our vote. Because it can't just be for this cycle. It has to be a continued effort, right? So that's just how I'm looking at it. That's why I'm not bothered now about, because I was starting to get a little pissed off at some people. Like, man, come on, man. Like, don't lead the people astray. You know what I'm saying? So those are my two opening volleys on that. Like, I was just thinking, like, this can be very simple. Why is this so complicated? You know? Man, I don't like Kamala Harris. I don't like whatever her name is. She ain't black.
I feel you. Only problem I got with it is that when we do be picky about it, we doing it towards each other.
Okay.
And then that, you know what I mean? And then that way it turned into an issue.
Good
because it's like my pickiness is better than your pickiness. And you need to see it my picky ass way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only problem, but I do like it. I see where you're going with it. You know what I mean? Because people talking about it, but like I feel like we need to talk about it in the right way, in the right rooms and shit.
And it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell sometimes. Right. Is somebody being passionate about this,
right?
Or is it about clickbait? Is it about being on the latest trend, or you just flossing, you just showing out for the camera? Or are you really passionate now and you've awakened and you've discovered, hey, man, this two-party system has been bullshit for a very long time. Everything is contrived. Both parties pander to us for our votes. Neither party has a great record on, doing for us. So then the question comes, okay, so what are you going to do? So then there's a step that has to be taken after that, which is form your own political party. Vet your own candidates. Build up your candidates. It's funny because all these intellectuals, all these people who can tell me about the horror that this country is, and they hate it, and they hate the government, and they leave, and if they get some reparations, and all these smart Negroes is running around talking about Cornel West. Well, we found out he's pro-vaccine, right? Very friendly to the pharmaceutical companies and medication and medicine. All right.
Right.
And then
we all found that to be bullshit.
We of course we did.
Right.
Not
and that's something serious too. You know what I mean? That's a serious topic right there. I think that vaccine was the topic of the last political race. Damn near. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But then we found out, I had my brothers and sisters around, it's a Kennedy. Oh Lord, it's a Kennedy in the race. It's a Kennedy. And he done dropped his flag and switched to the other side and came out supporting Trump. How many choices do we have on this ballot? Kamar's getting skinnier and skinnier. Somebody better support me and get Morris Day name on this ballot, because that's the only logical next choice. It's Morris Day. Yes, Morris Day for president, baby. But no, I'm joking around, but I'm saying we're so thoughtful, and some of us have just become scholars overnight. I've sat down, I've read it, man. I've read the Insurgency Act of 1917, and I love it. I love black people diving in and saying, hold on, man. But what we should be saying is, okay, well, how did this shit actually work? Let's talk about Washington. Let's talk about how bills get passed. I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill. Remember that shit? Let's walk ourselves through the process. Let's not jump in at the last minute with a bunch of off the cuff, as many sound bites as I can find on YouTube, as many Instagram pages as I can go to. Let's really do some deep thought. Let's take a deep dive on this, as they say. And then let's turn around and say, okay, now how can we make this system work for us? And if anybody in the room say, we can't, kick them out. You got to go. What do I do? You got to go. I can't. You don't even believe. You know, I don't want to be on your team if we in the locker room before the game. You be like, man, there's no way we can win. If you don't get away from me, you might as well go and sit in the other locker room. So I just think, and that's wishful thinking, Kamar, because the way this usually works is once the news cycle cools off and whatever happens, you know. But there's people who are predicting these, oh man, the country gonna divide itself if Trump don't get elected. If Kamala get elected, she just locking every black person up walking the streets. Like, for real, like, people are like, man, when I heard the sister in Atlanta say, she don't even support the black family because she cheated with Willie Brown and destroyed a black family. And people say, yeah. I was like, whoa.
That's crazy work to say she destroyed his marriage.
It's black family.
This nigga chose to fuck on her. He fucked up his marriage.
Say what? Wait. We started this show. You used the word
accountability.
God damn it.
They're gonna blame it on her and shit.
In the words of Mayor Johnson, you bullshit.
Right.
Listen,
did she mess her own marriage up?
Well, she compromised it, but obviously not, because whatever his name.
Hey, she didn't fuck shit up then.
He's still there, but they're not a black family. When I hear my people say she's not black, I get it. But you gotta come up with something else. You have to show me.
Because Biden ain't black either.
No, and neither is Trump.
Right.
So then you start saying, well, both of them fucked up and neither one of them ain't shit. So like I said, so you think this is the one that we need to sit out since neither candidate is, fuck it, let's just not vote then. Like, that's a super callous way to look at it. And I think that's irresponsible. And I think it's irresponsible for certain people to not understand that you're passing information along to a lot of people. And I'm talking about our representatives, people who represent us as foundational Black Americans. If they trust you as their source of information, if you're supposed to be like kind of dictating this narrative, you're irresponsible to spew a one-sided argument to them. You feel me? Like, you can go, she ain't black and she's an Indian and she's Jamaican. Like, this is, like you said, black people doing this. Remember when Obama was elected and Trump was like, we want to see your birth certificate, and motherfucker, you ain't even. And we was like, oh, that's some bullshit. How you gonna play him like that? And we turn around and do the same shit to her.
Same shit.
You say you got what my brother Perry said. He said we got Democratic talking points. If it sounds that way, I promise you it's not intentional, because I don't claim either Democrat or Republican. I'm fully aware that both of these parties are parties that really look out for their own best interests, and that those interests aren't the same as ours. Because you always hear politicians have to do one thing. I don't care what color they are. Well, I do care. If they're black, sorry, the qualifier for them to do is they have to state, I'm not just going to pass things for black people, or I'm not going to specifically pass things for just for black people. And my thing is, why aren't you saying, of course I'm going to pass some stuff for black people. I'm going to pass some stuff for everybody. White, Chinese, Asian, Latino, I'm passing. Everybody is going to get their deal. But yes, black people going to get some shit. I feel like if we had a politician who said that, people would say, okay, I can understand that. But you have to qualify. Obama had to do it. He had to distance himself from the minister. He couldn't be with Jeremiah Wright. Oh no, I'm not like the rest of those niggers. I'm a good nigger. And so I just think, like I stated, I think we need to, if this is how we gonna move forward, and we're all gonna be on code, and we say we ain't supporting nobody who ain't us, then let's do that. But we can't be inconsistent. Because guess what? The next presidential election might be two white dudes against each other. What you gonna do then? We ain't voting? You know? You gotta think about the consequences. What precedent are we setting here? I just want y'all to think about that. Let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know how y'all feel. Because I think people are just really over complicating it. is what we call over-engineered at this point. Kamala Harris is more melanated than Malcolm X, says Ernest. Well, we talk about Marcus Garvey. We talk about the minister. We talk about individuals who we wouldn't say are, and that's where this foundational Black American thing becomes a little bit divisive. And I've been saying it and I've been using it as a hashtag, but I'm starting to see it can be a little divisive. But with good reason. And I think it's meant to be that way. I think it is absolutely meant for us to carve out an identity for ourselves in this country. Those of us who identify with families who come from the Deep South, with families who come from, from who are descendants of slaves. It's a moment where we can really stick our chest out and say, this us. From now on, this how we standing. But it is a little divisive to say to other people of color, your ass ain't Black. I can see how they feel some kind of way about it, Kamar. Dion, what you got on your mind this time? Or did I lose him again? Say, this us. No, I don't got him. Hit me back, Dion. Hit me back. I don't know if your phone dropped or mine. But I think this is a beautiful time for us. I think it's a win-win. And I try to create situations where everybody can win, because I feel like even with the discussion about the electoral college, which a lot of people may not have been aware of or even how it functions, just for them to hear this now and hop on their phone and say, well, let me see what this electoral college is. It's creating some awareness. So people, maybe through reading all of this and doing this research, they might say, I really need to get on the front lines with this. I need to get involved in this. Enough sitting this out. It's just wishful thinking. I hope so, but I don't know. I don't know how this will. But like you said, the sad part of it is that it's us against us. And so I wish we were. I wish we was a little bit more together on this. I hate that we are divided about the division that divides us. I don't know if I over-engineered that sentence. Dion, you back on? What's popping?
Oh yeah. So that's the whole reason.
Oh, you chopping.
People, can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, people want to say what Kamala Harris. I don't think people are really familiar with what's going on out here, like far as with the Heritage Foundation. White people are using reverse racism and discrimination to file lawsuits on certain things that were designated for Black people. I don't know if you're familiar. I can't think of the name of, but Keisha Knight Pullman, who played Rudy on the Huxtables, her and some other young ladies, they started this little foundation where they help African American women do starter businesses. Well, the white people, because they're saying that it's racist. So when people be like, what can Kamala Harris, she can say today or tomorrow, hey, I'm going to do this for Black people, and it's only going to be for Black people. And before it passed through the Heritage Foundation, you know what I'm saying? Just that, like I had to tell my guy Friday, I said, just because I don't vote, I'm very knowledgeable on the political system. Know about the Federalists, the Whigs, how the Democratic system became about, the Republicans and all that. See, people will be like, well, the Republicans, the Blacks used to vote Republicans, yeah, but whites turned to the Republican Party because they felt like the Democratic Party stepped on their way of life. So they turned to the Republican Party because at first, when Abraham Lincoln, quote unquote, they say the founder, the father who freed the slaves, whatever they want to call him, I don't know. A lot of people were Republicans, but the Republican Party ended their way of life. That's why you had a lot of Southern Dixiecrats. But we ain't gonna go off into that.
Right, I'm saying, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Because we're losing sight of the conversation.
No, I'm talking about how when I was hearing you say, like, people keep on talking about what Kamala specifically could do for Black people. She can't do anything for Black people. She would have to make a law. I mean, not a law, but like, say, for instance, she's talking about passing this housing thing. That's going to benefit Black people because how many Black people are renters? They're talking about giving $25,000 to the first time homeowners to make a purchase. That can help Black people. You understand what I'm saying? So she can't do anything. Say this is solely for African Americans. That's off the table, because if she do, it will be struck down. It'll be a lawsuit, all type of shit. That's why people who are saying these type of things don't know what's going on, because they not out there to see how many lawsuits it is against.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
You just talked about and demonstrated your vast knowledge of our political system. You just talked about you going to do deep dives on where these concepts come from and how it was formulated and how it was established. So then I ask you, are you going to vote?
Yes, hell yeah. I told you I'm gonna vote for Kamala.
Okay.
This is my first time ever gonna be voting. I gotta go register.
I didn't need to know who. I just need to know if, because like I just said, from now on, I'm gonna save myself a lot of trouble when I start talking to somebody about this. I'm gonna say, are you going to vote? If they say no, I don't want to talk with them about that no more. I'm gonna say, what's up with the Packers or something? You hear that new Snoop and Dre? Like I'm not even going there with them.
Participate in this political process. Maybe only this time, because I feel it's a lot at stake.
You can't stop. You can't stop with just this one. Big mistakes. No, you got to look. Because guess what you got to do after this? After you vote for Kamala, you got to vote in the midterms. You know what the midterms are?
That's what the senators.
You got to do that, because you're going to help Kamala by putting legislators in place that will support her policy. So she do say, I want to make a Black People Day in May. She got to have the right people there to say, hey, yes, we vote yes to that. Yes, yes. If you don't vote in that and sit that out, this is how they tip the scales on us anyways. And see, while we keep talking about our vote don't matter, the Electoral College and da-da-da-da, we still playing into their hands by not participating in the midterm shit. Not knowing what judge. The average person does not know who the Supreme Court justices are. They don't know who they state Supreme Court, include myself. I don't know all their names. But these people get support from political. The president appoints, right? They have to be voted on for Supreme Court. We vote on the state level for our Supreme Court. They make the law. States have state rights. And that's why people don't understand. You can't always the president. First of all, look at what your state's rights are. Because some states, it'd be a federal act, and they say, nah, we ain't fucking with that. We ain't participating in that. States have their own rights. So if you don't understand the whole system, you can't just touch part of it. You can't just vote now and go back into hiding. Oh, we're fucking now. You know. You got to say, okay, we got Kamala in there. Let's see who Congress and Senate. Because if the Republicans or whoever tip the scales in representation in those places, then yeah, because that's the excuse everybody makes for Obama is, well, he couldn't do shit. He couldn't get shit passed. Because guess who didn't vote in the midterms?
Well, maybe I'll vote against your buddy DC and little buddy. Get their ass up out of there. Get them up out. They gotta go. What they say, Joe and the hoe gotta go.
Listen, you said it's almost 2025, and you were absolutely right. But what that's going to give us is a picture of what Milwaukee actually looks like now under their leadership. Because we're going to end the year with a $19 million budget deficit county-wise. Let's see how we did city-wise.
I'm still confused on that, though.
Well, most people are, because they haven't. The only explanation that they gave is that it was about the shortage in the sheriff department, and so they have the overtime is killing them. And then they said consumer spending is down. Well, of course it is, because y'all did a tax hike in the midst of super high inflation. Why do you think it's down?
Wasn't that tax hike for all of Milwaukee County, just not the city of Milwaukee, though?
It was both. It's for both. They got it passed simultaneously, and they held their hands up like they just won a tag team wrestling match championship and said, "We did it." Oh yeah, we need $19 million more. And
I was hearing something else about that. That like a lot of places, like say Kamar, he a small business owner, but if he didn't update his system for when you got to add them extra taxes on, then a person will be held liable for that. You know, so if you're not charging the consumer what they should be charging because your system didn't get updated to that new tax system, then you would be on the hook for that. I said, boy, you can't win for losing around this motherfucker, boy.
Hey, you stealing
I
money.
swear.
You're stealing money from the king.
Man, I get so tired of this shit, Cam. You know what the hardest part for me is, right? Which I just don't feel is fair. When you do your W-2 and you tell them that they should take extra money out your check so you won't owe at the end of the year. That's not my motherfucking job. That's your motherfucking job. You know how much motherfucking money to take up out of there, and you know how much money I should be getting back. How the fuck should I tell you we'll take an extra 20 or 30? Then you know what I'm saying? Like that shit wigs me the fuck out though, you know. Like it's just crazy, man. Like this whole system that we live in is fucked up, man. It's real fucked up. It really is.
Well, there's work to be done, and I challenge anybody, because I mean every complaint you have is valid. Every complaint that people of color have is valid. Every complaint, any white person, Latino person, Asian, they're all valid because they're all true. But I ask you, where's a place on earth where everything is all good? And nobody,
yeah, you're right. I agree with you.
Nobody has been able to say, go back to the motherland, right? Where was they saying, come on back to Ghana or wherever? It was not even 2 years later, got a civil war. Can I go back to Chicago, please? You get over there and you find out they ain't keen to you. You know what they looking at you as? Immigrant. You are an immigrant here to take our job, American. You have a college degree from America. Fuck you.
Them Venezuelans over there in Chicago killing motherfuckers. Because, you know, I spent the weekend in Chicago this week.
Okay.
Them Venezuelans over there killing motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's they into it, one of them gangs. One of them street gangs, they down there banging. The Venezuelans and the street niggas.
Yeah, what are they? What's that?
I forgot. It's one of them young drill rappers. It's a couple drill rappers down there. Damn, I can't think of their names right now. But anyway, one of them just got killed, a lot of Venezuelans. And then the other one, they caught him on his way to go retaliate. Caught him with a switch in the stolen car.
Oh yeah, I seen that. I seen that.
Yeah, that's what he talking about the Venezuelans down there in Chicago.
Okay. So, but that should be an easy fix, though, right?
It should be an easy
go get them. Go get them. I mean, especially if they're illegal, and you bringing them in.
Right.
But here's the crazy thing is I was in Minneapolis, and I just happened to be talking to one of my brother-in-laws, and he was saying, you know, actually over here, one of the roughest gangs is the Somalians. And I said, really? And he said, yeah. And he said the Somalis, I should say. And he told me, what was the name of their gang? It was like Rough Somalis or something like. It was like a super, like, you would think like a funny name, but he was like, no, they serious. Like they be tearing people's shit off.
Serious, man. You know, the motherfuckers in other countries they be fearless, man. They be ready to go at their government.
Yeah. That's why
they go to war with the army, nigga. It ain't without a gun. Throw a rock.
Boy, that damn boy stupid. Hell yeah, them motherfuckers will throw. Them motherfuckers will throw a whole brick at a tank.
Cedric Entertainer said them. He said them some professional rock throwers. He said they throw a rock, it bounced off, shit like ding, dong, bang.
Something else and shit.
For the love of Allah. Nah, for real though. Nah, for real, y'all. Hey, listen. Go look. What we say about these young thugs in our communities, terrorizing our communities? What we say? Lock their ass up. Get rid of them. Okay, we let you in. You want to act a fool? Bye. You got to go. I don't want to hear no. But I didn't know my father. I don't care. You got to go. Where I come from is savage. Okay, well, you going back there. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that shit. And then if that's the case, then what you got to do is you got to put the squeeze on them like you would do with us. Now all y'all got to suffer. Now we finna sweat the shit out of y'all whole community. We see your ass, you look Latino, we pulling you over. We want to see your license registration. And no having anything. Okay, get your ass in the van. Back to Venezuela you go. I'm talking shit. I don't want them to come after me though. God damn. Y'all gonna get me in some trouble.
They need to get their ass out this country though.
If it's that kind of, see, I'm not xenophobic, but if it's that kind of energy where they coming in like that, then yeah, get rid of them. Why? I mean,
them boys will be all on I just be seeing them on the west side because that's what my gal said. But when I say them motherfuckers, man, they so deep. They be on the corner selling goddamn, I don't know what it is they be selling. But they be having a lot of stuff and you just see them all, and they all got cell phones too. Yeah, all them motherfuckers got cell phones. You know what I'm saying? You be seeing them, it be a gang of them. It's like they wild dogs or something. It's like they be running in packs. I be like, I hate these motherfuckers, man. Because we can't go over to their country. We can't go over to their country and seek refuge.
Yeah, you can go over there to Venezuela, but when you get over there, you're gonna have to deal with the Venezuelans, like you said. It ain't gonna be no, hey man, I'm on the run. No, you're not here. I don't even know how they talk. I'm just imitating them. I don't know how they talk. But listen, Dion, the whole thing is if it's a situation, it's like the movie Scarface with the Cuban crime wave when Fidel Castro sent all his criminals, all the people he had locked up in prison to Miami, to the port of Miami. Right. And so, you know, that starts that whole situation. So if this is similar, like I said, this is easy, man. Just get rid of them. Just get rid of them.
And then when you was talking about like what's black, you made me think about this lady at my job, right? So, you know, I work out here in Grafton. There's not a lot of black people out here. So when I see a black person, it's like I've seen something I ain't never seen before. I'm like, hey man, how you doing? Ooh, ooh. So I see her, I'm like, hey, how you doing? Ooh, it's good. When I said that and said, you know, it's good to see somebody look like me, that bitch was like, I'm not black, I'm Puerto Rican. Bitch, you darker than me. You an Afro-Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she is. She darker than me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you got somewhere in your family is some black.
Yo, bad.
Now, you might speak Puerto Rican, but you black. You know what I'm saying?
Well, hold on now. Wait a minute. We can't make it count when it behooves us. Now, she get a pass. See, this is what I'm saying. I've even heard people say, well, no, Kev, if you half white and you black, you still foundational black American because you got that black in you if your father was a regular black person. But then this sister say it's another reason we don't like her because she married to a white man. Or that her mama was white, but her daddy wasn't a foundational black American. That's what people. It's too much. It's too confusing. You got people dizzy at the booth, and it's such a double standard. Now, see, you acknowledged her presence, and she said, "I'm not even black." You was like, "Yes, you is."
So,
but Kamala's not, and you said she was Puerto Rican. Well, Puerto Ricans have African blood in them. That's what. But those aren't foundational black Americans, Dion. Got to make up our minds, man. Got to make up our minds. I want to talk about. I want to talk about too. School is starting, right? It's back to school, and you know, I'm just happy first of all that the students in Milwaukee public schools, I should say, were able to go back to school. This was a treacherous off season. This was, man, and I don't know. I know they brought in some consultants. I know they did select an interim superintendent, right? We just reported last week because I like I said, I'm friends with Beverly Williams and Take a Stand Today, I believe is the name of their organization, and they are collaborative with a lot of different community organizations that have been on MPS's heels in terms of their accountability. And so there's a recall, right? And just said we're going to recall the members of the school board because the members of the school board are elected officials. And it didn't pass because it didn't get enough signatures. First of all, I think they did turn in 29,000, but I don't know what the benchmark is. They didn't achieve it. And then they took a second look and guess what? Phony signatures, allegedly. And I'm like, what a fumble. What a fumble. Who's the I don't want to call the people out who are the organizers of this. But how did this slip through the cracks? How does this happen? First of all, how do you not get enough votes? Like what place? I didn't see anybody out with this petition. I would have certainly signed it. Was it just a district thing where what district you live in? Let's recall your school board, your school, whoever you have, your elected person, school board member. But I just like, wow, that's a big, big F for them. Not only did you not get enough signatures, but there's fake signatures. Now, I know people who are involved and say, Kev, don't believe the hype. That's contrived. That's not real. And I don't know. I think it was one of these people who said, "Let me see the names. Let me see the list." And they look and said, "Look at this shit." And they've admitted that some of them are fraudulent signatures. How you didn't know this before you turned them in? You muted. You muted. You muted. You muted.
How do you know if it's a fraudulent signature?
A made up address. What's another way that they do it? Some people actually sign the same name, or they'll sign a name that doesn't go to an address, or however they go through it. They go through is some qualifying things that what makes it a legitimate signature. And it may even be somebody, if you got to put your address and you live in a certain area code. If you up on how they go over the signatures, please let me know. This is one of the things where Kev needs some help. I don't know.
I'd like to know what make it invalid and how would they know?
They explained it in the article.
Because them people, they be everywhere. Like I was seeing them everywhere. You know what I mean?
I didn't see them
a few times about signing a petition. You know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering, because they was getting a lot of signatures, but I'm wondering, how do they know which ones was fake? Could that be some bullshit in the game or not?
The only thing I've seen is two young brothers walking around doing door hangers, but they were for the Working Party family. And that's one of those big three that we used to always name off, the Working Party family. And so they were endorsing Kamala and Biden. I'm sorry, Walls. and so that's the only thing I've seen. I didn't see the petition to sign, for a recall. I didn't. Maybe I'm just not in the right places, but I didn't see it. I didn't run across it because I would have signed it quickly. I'd have been like, hell yeah.
But I'm saying, they was getting a lot of signatures.
Okay, they got 29,000.
So I'm really wondering, who says that the signature was fake? Because maybe somebody could have went across my signature. I'm saying and saying, "Hey, this is a fake signature."
There is a board that does this. Let me pull up.
I'd like to know the qualifications.
I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up. Give me some time.
What are the points to finding out if a signature is fraudulent or not?
Right. I got it.
I put it because do they type the name in? Because a lot of time it'd be a signature and you can't really tell what the name say anyway, right?
We're gonna figure it out.
I know my signature. You can't tell that's my name.
I think you have to put your address, or maybe I don't know how they do it, Kamar. I'm looking for it right now because I put it up. It was in the Journal Sentinel today, and I'm going over so many stories that I put in here, because I can get that information. But that's what the thing was with it. So, like I said, if you are up on that if you hit it before I get to it, let me know. I just know that there was a report that one of the young ladies who was, I guess, on the school board, she said that she looked at, okay, here we go. Here is the article. So, Senate People's News Network, MPS board recall attempt prompts concern over fake signatures and funding. Okay, says although a group is attempting to they attempted to recall 4 Milwaukee County School Board members, and they failed after they were unable to collect enough signatures, but were still able to submit over 29,000. But after one school board member found what appeared to be a fake address and uncannily similar handwriting for multiple signatures, it's unclear how many were valid. Okay, board members Missy Zombor posted on her campaign Facebook page to print out dozens of signatures that appear to be written by the same person. And she acknowledged she's not a handwriting expert, but an investigator that they hired found one to take a closer look. Okay. And so they got these down here. Forensic document examiner Kevin Kubaka is the CEO and founder of Fox Forensic Consulting. They offer services like verifying signatures for law enforcement agencies and business. Said he used a standard procedure for forensic documentation, the Academy Standard Board standard, to examine 10 sheets of regular recall petitions. So they examined 10 sheets, and they said the public investigator provided copies of the petitions posted by Zombor, as well as 3 additional randomly selected pages out of thousands submitted in the recall effort. Based on his analysis, he said it's likely someone filled out multiple lines on a petition. Between 4 to 10 pages could be linked. He said it's not necessarily to say all were done by the same person, as sometimes they are coordinated efforts between multiple people. And his procedure compares features in any written name, particularly ones that do not adhere to basic writing styles. Okay. Everybody learns a few different simple writing systems. Okay. I'm looking for, said there were also extensive amounts of similarity between the written addresses on recall petitions. Said he focused on comparing signatures and printed names. There are essentially enough similarities in some of these writings. I'm able to make that assertion between the two. According to state law, the person who collected the signatures, known as the circulator, must fill out the bottom of each form with their name and address. The pages that contain suspicious signatures featured at least 4 different names and signatures. Okay. So I'm guessing somehow they're going on the person who actually collects it and signs off. It said falsifying information on recall petitions is considered a Class A felony, which carries a maximum sentence of 3.5 years. Okay, Tamika Johnson, the organizer of MPS School Board Recall Initiative and a private school teacher at New Testament Christian Academy, told investigators she is not aware of any forged signatures. She said there were many community members signing and volunteering to collect signatures. The group that organized the recall was made up of about a dozen Milwaukeeans from various community organizations. People behind the podium at the group's press conference at City Hall in June included Black Educators Caucus Chair Angela Harris, activist Vaughn Mays, broadcaster Tori Lowe, Salim El Amin of North Division's Call and Action Committee, and leaders of the Ubuntu Research and Evaluation and other residents and parents. During the group's June announcement, Johnson said there was a single leader of the recall coalition. City Attorney Evan Goike told police investigators allegations of fraud are investigated and prosecuted by the DA. Okay. So they didn't respond to questions. The recall group is yet to say who funded the recall effort other than anonymous donors. They are required to disclose funders and public campaign finance reports. Reports filed so far don't show any fundraising or spending to pay canvassers. However, the group advertised job openings in early July, offering $25 an hour to collect signatures. Okay. So last month, she filed a complaint against the the organizers with the ethics committee, saying she accused them of failing to report all funds raised and spent. The commission said her complaint was substantial enough to review it. On Friday, Black Educators Caucus pointed out similarities in the talking points of Zombor and the Milwaukee Teachers Education Association. It's deeply disturbing that they believe the Black community couldn't initiate and facilitate this recall without doing something illegal, unethical, or having some nefarious donors in the shadows. The Black Educators Caucus, that's their response to it. So, wow, the rabbit hole is deep. So it sounds like this was a community effort, Kamar. Now, there were a lot of people. Those are some big names that I just read off. With all these big names involved, is it because of them that they say, okay, it's got to be something false going on, or is it tremendous oversight by a group of people that you would think are very well qualified to do this?
I'm still suspicious on what makes an unqualified signature.
It's about the address. Apparently, that's what I just deducted from that. It's about addresses, fake addresses, because they can put an address in a computer, and if it don't pop up, they'll say that's a fake address. That's not a valid signature.
Okay.
Now,
so the addresses wasn't adding up. Like what they saying, like this ain't no real address in Milwaukee.
Some of them were, and there were some, and some of the signatures looked very similar. Like somebody. Listen, I'm not giving
like same handwriting type shit.
Right. That's why they brought the expert in. He was a handwriting analysis type of person. He works for a firm that does this. Now, once again, I'm not giving this merit. Now, especially now that I know that this is a collective effort by a bunch of Black people. But we have the Ethics Commission saying there's some suspicion here. We have complaints being filed, experts being brought in, consultants being brought in. All kinds of reports filed to the DA. What the fuck is going on?
I got another question.
Okay.
All right. So even when if they do find some to be invalid, right? Find some fraudulent signatures or whatever.
Right.
Shouldn't they still count up the good signatures?
Well, they didn't have
And
enough. Period. They didn't have enough.
Oh,
First of all,
it wasn't enough
it
at all.
wasn't
Well, shit,
enough.
what the fuck difference do it make?
That's what some people say. Well, because one of the school board members went back and looked. She wanted to see the signatures. She wanted to
Right.
see. I'm pretty sure in her
I
mind,
get
maybe
it. She
she's
want to
saying, "I
see the
want to see."
signatures, but shit, if y'all ain't got enough signatures anyway, it don't make no difference.
But the accusation is that it's fraud that's been committed.
Right.
Because the complaint is that they didn't file their financial paperwork. That's a big one. And so that means you failed to comply. It's like not showing up for court by a certain date. And I don't know, because is the person whose job this was, are they saying, no, I got proof, I was there, I mean, I filed it, it's very clear, or is this really like negligence that they just didn't do it?
If they didn't do it, I mean, can't nobody step up and say, "Oh, no, I did it."
Well, I'm just right. Well,
apparently it didn't get done, right?
Yeah, what are you talking
And somebody would be like, "Hey, hold on, man, I did that shit."
I'm giving these brothers and sisters the benefit of the doubt.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying?
But I'm saying, if somebody did it, somebody be raising their hand in class like, "Hey, I did that shit, man. Hold on. I did it."
Now, this is the Journal Sentinel, and we know that things have been misreported before. Okay, I'm trying to give us the benefit of the doubt. Kamar, you're not helping me here. You're not helping me here.
All right.
Come on, man. You got to try harder, Kamar. I don't know. I'm not in their organization. I don't know who. I read off a bunch of names. I don't know any of those individuals. I know. I know Vaughn and I know Tory. But to me, those brothers been doing this kind of thing for so long. Or maybe that just wasn't their part. Maybe their part was to say, I'm just here to organize the people who collect signatures. So maybe it's not their part that, well, somebody was supposed to report to them where the money come from. And then that make you say, where did the money come from? And some people say it ain't your business. Why do it matter? It matters because the law is you have to post it so it'll be public information. That's anybody knows that when it comes to any kind of political actions, like any race and any political race, you gotta publicly disclose your funders, right? So that's crazy. Once again, I'm like, okay, damn, how we messed that up. The other thing for me is taking a look at Milwaukee. If you are a parent right now in Milwaukee and you have children who are in school, and shout out to y'all who I see y'all post y'all babies, and it's first day of 8th grade, and I get that, but the charter schools here are growing. They are. Howard Fuller has a brand new building. I see Hope. I think Hope is looking to expand into the South Side. They all have new buildings coming up. Is the charter school corporate education model going to really make MPS fizzle out? There's been a lot of challenges over the years about charter school versus public school and where the money should go, and choice schools and neighborhood schools, and how to best educate our students and what's the best place for them to go to school at. And all it's done in Milwaukee is just because I feel like, my opinion is kind of waned in recent years, because I was always saying, hey, if you're giving money to charter schools, you're taking away from the public schools, which is where most of the money should go. But MPS has their own set of charter schools that they operate. So that loss of revenue ain't there. And then we talk about $1.5 billion budget. We can no longer say anything about not having enough money for MPS. I wouldn't give a fuck how they explained it. If you get a $1.5 billion budget, whatever you doing supposed to work. I don't know what the fuck it's supposed to work. So we should be on the lookout for this. And this is why it's going to be more important than ever for us to really be proactive in our children's educations. Because are they about to really just shepherd them into, because Kamar, we were involved in the whole 220 thing, right? Where they shipped us off. Like, I grew up on 17th Capitol. I went to Phillips School. From middle school, I went to Bell Middle School across the street from Hamilton. And if you ain't never been over there on 65th, 66 in Warnemont, it's far. It is far, right?
I went to Hamilton.
So that shit's far, especially for us then, right? And so what they did with us is they start mixing and matching us, putting us on these in those schools on the South Side and all this. And that was their experiment to see, okay, what's, they got rid of the whole neighborhood school thing. And then they put up citywide schools where King and Tech and Riverside and all. They were just experimenting the whole time. But we were able to get through it. MPS, when we were in school, was still functioning because we were still leaving MPS as literate adults, most of us. I know some of y'all like Kev. I really can't still can't read. But now the push is going to be towards, okay, we have to do something to this education system. So the charter schools here are bubbling up, like Hope and what's the other one? There's Hope and it's so many new schools. I can't even name them all. Like and like I used to talk to my son about different teams and friends he got that play sports, and he'd be like, he go to this school. I'm like, what the hell is that? They got a football team. They got a basketball team. These are little bitty charter schools. So maybe that nostalgia of us, the way we grew up, went to elementary school in the neighborhood school where everybody who went to the school pretty much lived in the neighborhood, right? Depending on you live on Capitol where I live, you went to Phillip. You live on Capitol, right across Capitol, you went to Keith Avenue. If you go further down, you went to Benjamin Franklin. If you go further east, you went to Silver Spring, which is now Marvin Pratt, and Green Bay Avenue. That all those little neighborhoods around those schools, that's where the kids went to school at. My old elementary school, Phillip School, is sitting vacant and has been for about 15 years, and it's still smack dab in one of the most populated areas in the city. And I know
where's Phillip's at?
It's on 16th and Olive.
I never heard of Phillip.
Yep, E.L. Phillip, Emmanuel L. Phillip. It's right, like it's a block. It's on 16th. So King is on from basically, if you look at King, it's from 17th to 19th. If so it's a block away from Rufus King. So I walked to elementary school, got on the bus, rode an hour to the South Side for middle school, came back and went to King and walked to school again. But now kid might be living on Center Street, might be going to West Dallas Central. He might be going to some school you ain't never heard of. Living Abundant Word. What is that? The Black People Solar Academy. What is that? I've never heard of French immersion. I go to German immersion. Like, what the fuck is we talking about? Earl Henny said my big sister is the reason I know how to read. Shout out to Earl Henny. Shout out to Kevin LaFleur too, who inboxed me about. He said we got to do a show.
See,
got to do a show
what
tonight.
They gonna do when 2025. If they implement that, they talking about eliminating the Department of Education totally. But see, my thing was where I'm confused at. How can each individual, because the Department of Education basically gets funded to fund all these schools, but they want to do what they call an educational student account, ESA. I don't understand how each and every last single individual student that's in America could have this ESA account. Like, where would the funding come from? Who would fund it? Say, okay, my child, once they, before they go to school or whatever, or they just, like, where would the monies come from? So when I was reading that, I was like, yeah, it sounds good. And I heard, like, Arizona has something similar to it, and Iowa, but a lot of the money that was supposed to have been diverted for those had been diverted back to, like religious schools. That's when Nancy, what's her name, DeVos, Nancy DeVos, whatever, when she was the Secretary of Public Education, when she was a part of the Trump administration. So it's maybe it's something bigger that we see with the public schools, and they doing this to try to say, hey, and then not only in Milwaukee, across the nation, but they say, hey, like Trump said, what do you got to lose? When they be like, well, the Department of Public Education, as you see around the country, is failing. You already know they always use us as fucking scapegoats. I can't stand that shit. You know what I'm saying? And white people really be thinking that shit like, oh, they're underprivileged and this, that, and the other. And, we need to help them. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I could just see that being a vocal, you know what I'm saying, a vocal talk for when if Trump do win, not saying he will, but if he do wins, and when they try to eliminate the Department of Public Education, that will be a talking point to be like, hey, let's try to implement this new system. Now, I know a lot of these things that they're talking about just can't be implemented within the first 180 days, maybe over the 4-year period, maybe over an 8-year period, but they're going to try, and you can see that now in certain instances. Like I was looking at where they've been getting rid of books. They're talking about sexism and racism, in Florida, throwing the books away, trying to rewrite. I don't know if you've seen a part they were showing in some state, I think it was Texas, where they said slavery, they didn't call it slavery. They call it voluntary servitude, and, that the slaves learned these valuable skills and blah, 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 this and blah, 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 that. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, Kev.
Yeah, once again, the person who Paris, who calls the show, or who's always in the chat room, Shay and Kruma, he said he read all 222 pages of what is it, 2025? What is it called?
Well, it's 900 some pages. He probably got to the first 225.
Maybe he said 900. Maybe he said 900. I don't know. I know he read it. He's up on it. And people are using that and saying, this is Trump. This is what Trump is going to do. So once again, I hear black people, and I'm seeing them say we want something different. They like Trump because they feel like he's a maverick. But like you're saying, and like Paris is saying, people don't understand the severity of what Project 2025 could bring. But at the same time, these people are saying, don't vote for Kamala, though. So if we're really anti-2025 and it's one of Trump's pet peeves or pet projects, why are we not saying definitely vote for Kamala? Because even with all of that, what you just said, there's still black people saying, nah, I like Trump. Nah, I'm a vote for him. This is why it gets so confusing. That's why I say it's a little bit irresponsible if you got people who listen to you, who follow you, who value your opinion, and you're not giving them the whole argument. Like, what's worse, Project 2025 or Kamala not being black? Have we weighed that? Dion, you've been reading Project 2025. Which one's worse?
Project 2025. But now, don't get me wrong. Now, like I told you when I first started looking at it and examining it and reading little stuff, it is some things in there that I do like about it, though. Especially with the LGBTQ. We ain't gonna get off into that, but yeah, I'm definitely against that. And a lot of people will be like, well, what does it doesn't have nothing to do with you. But I tell them, if you throw a pebble into the lake, it's the ripple effect. So when they allow these people to start getting married, but now you mad because you see them on commercials, or you mad because the men want to participate in women's sports. No, you should have been mad when they was talking about marrying them motherfuckers, because a lot of people don't understand the ripple effect of things. That was just a test drive. So now when you in the bathroom with your little daughter, Bob could walk his ass up in there, use the bathroom, and your daughter looking like, well, mommy, I thought this was the women's bathroom, but no, it's a universal bathroom, So yeah, and I know you have probably been places where they got universal bathrooms at. You know what I'm saying? Where you use the man or woman's bathroom. They don't even have urinals in there no more. They just got stalls, So, and then there's some stuff up in there that's very harmful, especially to us, because they talking about the civil rights. They talking about cutting that clean out because they felt like it was divisive. The civil rights was divisive. And then I can't really think of it right now because I just read little bits of. Because I'll be reading it when I'm in the bathroom.
You had to be one salmon short of a picnic basket to say the civil rights movement was divisive. Like, that would be like, you actually should be ostracized, but because you're talking about a group of people who didn't have any rights, who were always exploited, persecuted, just murdered, exploited, beat, battered. And for them to say, hold on, man, we deserve to be treated like humans. Oh, that's divisive. What the fuck are we talking about? Now, hold on. I see, once again, this is where it gets confusing, because people will say, oh, Project 2025 is so bad, but there is some shit in there I like. So I want to ask you, what specifically about the LGBTQ movement does Project 2025 say So is it just about they won't let them get married or what?
They talking about in their marriage and in their civil rights protection against them. Well, like say if you a business and you refuse, you got the right to do that. If you a business and you say, hey, I don't want to bake you motherfuckers a cake, or I don't want to marry you, or I don't want you to hold things at my venue, now they could sue you because it's a violation of their civil rights. So they're talking about ending that protection where, hey, I don't have to serve. It ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like nothing wrong with that.
So that opens it up to somebody doing that to you when you walk in saying, hey, you're a black man. I don't want to serve you.
Well, it does. It does. It really does. It does. I can't lie to you and say that, you know, that it doesn't. And that's like, Kev, that's like, I don't know, man. Don't confuse me, man. You know what I'm saying?
Don't blame me.
I'm just saying, though, because it does. So I don't know what to say.
Every time. And I once again, this is where those I'm a genius, and listen to me. I have all the answers. You say, hey, goddamn gay people, fuck them. You don't need to have no. And you don't understand that if it's okay to discriminate against one group, then it's okay to discriminate against them all. So now, do I agree that LGBTQ things should be thrown in with black people? As a foundational black American, I don't. I feel like let's get to us first, because obviously I'm biased. I feel like let's get to us first. But the reality of it is minority doesn't mean black, and black doesn't mean minority. We've been shoved into a group, and all it really means is non-white, because whites make up the majority in this country. So I said all that to say, if gay people have gotten a real legal classification as minorities, then when it comes to rights, they got to get theirs too, right? So if they can't get married on the basis that they're gay, what's to stop somebody from me walking in as a black man, even with a white woman saying, I want to marry her up, I'm not marrying you because y'all interracial. Or I'm not marrying, I don't marry niggers here. It opens it up for all of us. You see what I'm saying? And that's where it gets confusing when you say, well, I think all of it's bullshit, but it is some shit I like. And the part that you like is taking away rights of gay people.
Like, well, I don't know. I don't know.
This is what I'm saying.
You got me stumped on that one.
Well, the black people doing this to themselves, saying this is why she's not black. She's not black. I think a lot of y'all would be surprised if you checked your lineage. She might be blacker than some of y'all. Everybody, listen, massa invaded all the quarters. There's a little bit of massa in all of us. You don't know what you got in your blood. You ever looked at a black person and say, he ain't all nigga? Some of us got this hair. Some of us got, I know brothers dark-skinned with light brown eyes. My cousin was my same complexion, light brown eyes. Where'd that come from? Right? Mother black, father black. So what I'm saying is, we got to be careful when we ran against one side. Like people say, well, they got an Asian, they have a law to protect Asian hate crime, and they don't even have a black one, right? They don't have a black one to protect us, and they don't. So you have a good point. So then that should be something we're asking Kamala for. See, instead of twerking and cheering, we should be having a checklist. Okay, Kamala, you want all this support from us? You want us to believe you like hot sauce on your chicken? Which one of these you gonna check off on? Reparations? Let's go down the list. And if she say I ain't doing none of that shit, the answer's simple. We vote for somebody else or we don't vote. But if Trump gets in, we now know that 2025 is something that he's gonna try to bring to the table. Either you're with it or against it. That's what I'm saying. You can't be like, well, I like when he fuck up gay people, but everybody else leave them alone. And we fight.
But hold on.
Black people fight. Like, right. We fight for ownership of the word minority. We fight for that shit. When they minority, what you talking about? Fuck them Asians. Fuck them Latinos. They're minorities too.
But I'll tell you this. Now, besides, this is what I truly feel. If I sat back and thought about it, we don't know because the shit happened. The Civil Rights Bill was not a bill solely for black people. We know that. We know that. But the most people that have profited and benefited from the Civil Rights Bill was minority groups, not blacks.
Well, hold
Asian,
on, hold on,
Hispanics,
hold
the
on,
gays.
Dion. You can't throw that out there because now I put that out to the audience. Who has really benefited more from civil rights than us? Because first of all, there was a Civil Rights Act. Now, I like how you said it wasn't just for black people, but at that point, we had the most solidarity. At that point, we were way more structured than Latinos and Asians and all those groups in this country. We were more visible. We were more vocal. So we carried the flag and we planted it, right? And it immediately said, okay, now y'all can vote. Now y'all integrated. Now y'all got open housing. Now you can go to schools. We're going to put things in different places to make sure that they have minority candidates and this kind of thing. I think we benefited greatly from the civil rights movement. I can't say other groups got more of it than us. Now, what those groups did? They took civil rights and reinforced their solidarity. That's why they together now and we ain't. That's why the Asians and the Latinos and all these other races who are quote unquote minorities, gay people, they got more solidarity than we arguing about her being light-skinned. They got way more solidarity, and they took advantage of all what you saying. Because you're right when you say it. All this legislation prevented these it helped these minority groups. It assisted these minority groups. You know why they were able to get assistance? Because they were together when they came with their ask. They was all on code. Yeah, what Chinese people? We want Asian. I know that's fucked up for me to do that. Let me get myself.
Boy, you is a man.
I know every time I try to go straight, I end up doing something street again, man. I'm from Capital. What can I say? But no, I'm just saying, like, if we take a close look at it, if we got together and enforced, because once again, it's as simple as saying, hey, we got these rights through this or that. Oh, they ain't doing it? Boycott, economic boycott. Shut them down. Shut them down. The pandemic shows you what happens when people don't go to your business. Right?
Even with the Department of Labor, they trying to end when you get paid for your overtime, too. I think that's Section 18. I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
But even with this, like, it's all type of, that's why I said I wanted to send that shit to you, because, like, I'll be reading when I be in the bathroom. It's quite interesting, though. Like, if I was in prison, oh, my God, this would be, like, the greatest book to read, just to sit back and to get inside the white. I don't have enough time to sit down and read a book, because I'm always going and going and going. But when I'm in the bathroom, I got it downloaded on my phone as a PDF. I think it's 910 pages, 915. And I'll be sitting there skimming through it and reading, and they're like, well, damn, they want to do this, they want to do that. And some of it seems okay. Some of it seems like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, but I don't know, Kev. I just feel like, I don't feel like we benefited the way we thought we were going to benefit, you know what I'm saying, with the civil rights bill, though.
I don't know. Listen, what benefit, and this maybe is a question that we weren't asking ourselves at the time. What is the actual benefit of integration? If we're shopping with ourselves, and we're spending with ourselves, and we're flourishing in our community, our family structure is intact, what do we need from them? If you say their neighborhoods are better, let's clean up ours. Oh, their schools are better. Let's invest in ours. Instead of, if I could just go to school with them, if I could just live with them.
Hey, Kev.
Yes,
that's
sir.
The same perspective that me and Real be coming with when we talk about only differences. We say first we work on ourselves. Because see, we got to change our own perspective on how we see our community and want to see our community. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people see the fucked up shit out here and they don't even give a fuck. But they got to get to a point where they care first. You see what I'm saying? So it's got to start within, and then it's even in when you look at the community. Okay, we work on our community first, and by us building our community up, we can, you know what I mean, work on more. So reach out farther than our community. I mean,
okay,
you know what I mean. But it just starts. So it's got to start somewhere, and we got to be the focal point of our own shit and take care of ourselves first.
So the hope was that we would have better access, so that we could realize our piece of the American dream. So when we looked at civil rights, we said, man, we should be able to vote legally, and we should be accepted. In our cities, we shouldn't be murdered unjustifiably by law enforcement officers. We shouldn't have to drink out of the raggedy colored bubbler or go in the most rundown bathroom. So we were hoping it would give us greater access. So in that regard, what I'm saying is somebody should have stood up and said, hold on, y'all. Are we looking for empowerment or inclusion? Because they're two different things. Do I just want to live next door to Whitey? Or do I want to be able to get access to this machine so I can get enough money where I can have a black neighborhood that's better than Whitey's? I think once we were fooled into thinking white ice is colder. And so we didn't benefit. Whereas Asians said, oh, you know, in America, you could do this. Oh, we do this in our community. Damn, I got to stop doing that.
No, that's what you want to do. Go ahead, finish. Finish. Don't stop, Kev. We do this in our community. Just go ahead, finish.
I don't need you holding me accountable, Courtney. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. No, I'm trying. I'm telling you, I'm really working on myself. I'm trying to be less and less biased and prejudiced. I am working on myself. But I'm just saying, when we look at the civil rights, because I love that Dion made that point. I love that he said that. He said everybody else benefited from the civil rights movement more than we did. But I don't know how true that is. I mean,
They did.
Well, hold on. Not for nothing. I'm not trying to brag. I'm not trying to floss. When I look at the fact that I was able to go, because of the civil rights movement, able to go to school, get an education, get a job, raise my family. Now they're going to school. There's no more first generation in my family now. I was first generation college student. My mom and them came out of the cotton fields because they wanted a better way for us, because they was already dealing with it. So they felt like, well, we got to get up north where the money is and better schools and better neighborhoods. And they were right, because we were better off on 17th and Capitol than we were on a white man's land picking cotton for him sharecropping in Mississippi. We were better off. And that's a direct benefit of the civil rights movement. I know a lot of black intellectuals would disagree. Okay, you don't know shit. You ain't no revolution. I know I can't come to the cookout. Let me catch my chat room, because we ain't even read it and it's hot. Give me a second, Dion. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, Earl, shout out to Earl. He's saying, he said your old school, they're looking to turn it into apartments. I know. It's very sad. I do not want to see Phillips School become apartments, because I just think it's such a disservice to that community. We're talking about this. It's my old elementary school, E.L. Phillip. Now, it's very sad that in that densely populated area, and there's so many children over there. Now, you're talking about parents where you can literally walk across the street to your child's school and check on them, which is what our parents did. It didn't take my mama long to walk to fill up with her belt in her purse to whoop one of our asses. Okay? That could be a jewel of the community, and it's going to be turned into apartments.
Where is the school at? Where's
So
this located?
16th and Olive. 16th and Olive. It's called E.L. It used to be called E.L. Phillips School. The building, I believe, is designated as a historical landmark because it was built during the Great Depression, and when Roosevelt came up with whatever the federal program, what was it called? I can't remember the program I'm having a brain fart. The program he came up with to create jobs for people. And so it has all these stone carvings, the New Deal, that's what it was called. The New Deal, where people who were skilled, like if you were a stone mason or like a metal worker or somebody like that, you could travel all over the country and they would pay you a fair wage to do a job. So there was fairy tales, the old, like the cow jumped over the moon and all that stuff. It was carved into stone around, and all of the fairy tales was carved into stone around the building. It still is, but it's very weathered.
16th and Hour?
16th and Olive. I never lived
Olive.
on
You see, I'm like,
Olive.
oh, I'm seeing that school. Okay, I thought it was closed. I didn't think that was. I thought it was just a random building sitting there.
It is closed. That's what we're talking about. They're talking about turning it into apartment buildings. And
so we don't want apartments, even though it's just been a closed building for years. When was the last time it was a school?
2000. Actually, me and my daughter were on the news. We were at the playground playing, and the news was there, and it was finna close. So it was about 2005, 2006.
So nobody
at its peak
until now.
At its peak in the 80s, when I went there, they said there were 600 some students, and it had gotten down to about 200.
So within all this time, nobody has been complaining or protesting for it to be a school. But now that it's going to be apartments, we're like, wait.
No, there's been
multiple.
There's been multiple conversations over the years of people trying to start schools in there. Like at one point they were trying to get UWM to start an elementary school in there. Everything has failed. And then at one point I think somebody was actually ready to purchase it and do a charter school thing. But I think, and I've read so much on this because, like I said, I went to kindergarten, K5 all the way to 5th grade. There, there's renovations that need to be made to the building now. Of course, built in 1930 something, and it's been sitting, like you said. So I think it's kind of like what they were like. Nah, this is not an ideal space anymore for a school because things have changed and the needs of, schools have changed. But now the next thing is like they did Jackie Robinson Middle School, and like they've done, what's the one I didn't like so much over there on Villard? What's the name of that? Edison. Oh, when I was a sub, I hated to go to Edison and Jackie Robinson. Them schools was horrible. John Muir, I used to hate all the middle schools. Like
Rob House. I think moving here to Milwaukee, going to Jack and Robinson. That's probably why I am the way I am. Moving here, going straight there, turning into a nigga immediately.
I could believe you. There's some badass kids at Jackie Robinson. I used to be like, yeah. I get in the office at the end of the day, be like, Mr. Barnes, you want to come back tomorrow? I'll be like, no, thank you. I do not want to come back. Oh, you go around the corner to Edison. Damn. I did not like it. I did not like neither one of them. Earl Henny said he's not winning. Too many white people want to kill him. He's talking about Trump. He's saying New York bathrooms are men and women together. Said free anybody. Know what that means. Free anybody. I don't know if
there's a bathroom like that in Chicago. I went to a music show and it said gender, had both, but then I didn't believe it really was that. And then I went in there, it was both. It was like it had you walk in, it's the mirror to wash your hands, and then you go straight. It's the stalls for women, but as you walk into the stalls, it's like one of them push doors, and it maybe come to right here, maybe right here. So it's like you could look over and see the dudes because they go through the push door and go pee, and then you just go. But you're all in there together.
Yeah, I'm cool on that.
That's right. It's getting.
I mean, just some shit just leave well enough alone. Like
Yeah, I don't want to be in there with y'all.
I just said some of this shit is over engineered. Mama Jenkins in the chat room. She said, "Good evening, my outlaw family. What is needed? The neighborhood school needs to come back and into focus, where the children walk to school, knew each other, and can relate to each other, and get rid of these fast, reckless, non-trained bus drivers with these badass kids." She said, "I haven't read all of Project 2025, but I have read some of it, and the parts that I have read is not for humans that breathe." Again, she said, "Who give a damn what race she is? She's still better than stupid racist ass Trump." Ewok said white women benefited more. White women have benefited more from the Civil Rights Act. Okay.
Yep, I was just about to ask you that. And the white women benefit more than for the minority programs too. Now you'll be surprised how many of these hunkies out here got these trucker companies and they wife name. I'll be like, why you got a 414 area code and you live way out here in Iron Ridge and all that in the crazy places?
Ewok or Dion, please tell me how white women have benefited more from the Civil Rights Act of 1964, 1963. When was Kennedy murdered?
Because they allowed them to open all these businesses, man.
Wait. Hold on. Okay, so if there's clauses for minorities to open businesses, right? That's what you're saying, right? That's what this act brought on.
It's just like trying to deal with the grants and shit. They have all these minority grants out here, but technically anybody that's not a white man is a minority. So shit, they usually gonna give it to a whole bunch of white women. That's why those black women tried to create that little foundation to help out more black people. And then they was like, oh no, you're only giving it to black people. You need to give it to all the minorities.
Black people have been excluded from minority contracts, and they've been given to white women as opposed to us.
Exactly.
And so they have a higher approval rate than we do. So a white woman and a black woman go in for a minority contract. They give it to the white woman over. Okay, in that regard. Okay, but in other areas, in just the ability to make it legal for us to vote, especially throughout the South. Just the ability for us to have open housing so we can live above Walnut in Milwaukee. Even though that didn't come until 1968, the Civil Rights Act is what kind of opens up the floodgates for this. I think those are bigger benefits than, okay, so what y'all said has some merit. Okay, white women are getting more minority contracts. But all of the other things that black people gain access to because of the signing of this bill makes me say, I don't know that that's 100% accurate. I don't know that it's true.
I mean, I guess because they got that same access too. Maybe that's why we feel like it. I mean, they got They used it. I mean, it's more of them.
They manipulate.
So
they played the game.
So it feels like that. Like, man, that shit was really for y'all niggas, and we just happen to be able to benefit as well. Shit ain't made for us, but we just happen to be able to benefit the same way these white women and white folks can. That's all.
But the white women, the white suffragists they got women's ability. I mean, right to vote before black people did, didn't they?
I believe.
The suffrage movement came before the civil rights movement. So white women was already able to live where they wanted to. They were already able to vote. They were already able to. I mean, of course, we know some places where they said no women. It's a boys club. Yeah. But I mean, legally to say no niggers. We're not high. A white person could have put a sign in the window that said colors need not apply. Were there signs that said we hire no women? Maybe there were. I'm not the expert on the suffrage movement. I still question, okay, and I'm giving that what y'all said validity. I'm not saying it's not true. But I'm saying I still think we benefited more from it than them. That's just the way I'm looking at it.
What are all the ways we benefited?
Say that again. You coughed. I couldn't.
Damn.
What are all the ways we benefited, Kev? What are the ways?
We just talked about it. We just talked about the fact that we were able to attend public schools. We were able to live where we want. All of a sudden, we got integrated. We could go.
But that was a separate but equal, though.
No. But all
where
of this,
we was looking at a person's personal civil rights that were violated.
All this goes into the Civil Rights Act that was signed that made it a federal law that you can no longer discriminate against somebody for the color of their skin or their gender. See, they hadn't even added gay people to it yet. That gave you the right, because you can go down south now and say, hey, man, y'all won't let these black people go to school. This is a federal law. That's why the Army goes to Alabama and escorts the little girl into the school.
That was Arkansas.
Arkansas, okay. Alabama, everywhere had it. Arkansas, Alabama, everywhere. Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah, I was watching something about old Bull Connor the other day.
Even in Arkansas, the Little Rock, in Little Rock, like
Little Rock 9.
So I'm saying this opened up a bunch of stuff for us and it had to be enforced, obviously. But I feel like white women had a lot of the rights. They already had a lot of those rights. They did benefit. They have benefited because once you classify women as a minority, you got to look into who was smart enough to get that shit done. Like, hey.
But other minority races benefited too, though.
Why? But why not?
You know
we just said black people ain't the only minorities. So why not?
Yeah. Why everybody benefiting more than us? It feels like it's more than us.
Y'all hear y'all saying that. I think it feels like it based on what you focus on. Because a lot of shit right now we just take for granted, right? Like because we was born into, I told you, black people wasn't free until the 70s. So to us, I live where the fuck I want to live. Fuck you mean? How they got a sign in the window talking about we don't serve niggers? All that shit is we don't take. That shit used to be the norm of everyday life for black people.
I don't think people realize that Ruby Bridge is still alive. You know what I'm saying? So it's really just that close. You know what I'm saying? It ain't
right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So we look and say, "Ooh, they got something." Well, you got the same right, but they didn't give me mine. Maybe you got to try again. All I'm saying, and I hate because I get into people start thinking I'm some kind of American like sympathizer. I'm indoctrinated. I know Deon said one time, I love everybody and I want peace on earth. And he made me into a straight flower child. You called me a pacifist and shit.
Jigaboo you.
Oh, Kev, I know you a house nigga. It sounds like that's what he meant to say. All right, Kev, I know you Uncle Tom, but listen. So
no.
I'm just saying a lot of times we have tunnel vision. We don't look at the big picture because a lot of people love what y'all just said and they'll go out and regurgitate it without even doing any research. Man, white people benefited more than us. How? Because they got businesses. Not every white woman has a business.
You know they're minorities too, right? You know.
Fuck, man. That's what I'm saying. You got to read the whole book. You can't just read the intro and then the back cover.
That's all I need.
You really got to read the whole book, man.
That's all I need. I just need hyped up now.
All right, world-class skimmer. I'm done. You can't quote one line except for the cover. Gonna be trouble, y'all.
Ain't that what D.L. Hughley was just apologizing for? Kamala, I was saying all that about you, and I hadn't did no research. You know what I'm saying?
He did. And he apologized on the Breakfast Club and he apologized at the DNC. He did. He said, I was here. I heard what other people said and I was spreading misinformation. That's why I said, if you have a platform or if you have influence over people, just be careful what you tell them. Because I know, like me, myself, I don't think nobody's following me. Like, I don't think like people want to hear my opinion and that's how they're going to make theirs. I don't give myself that much credit because I don't take myself that seriously. But I'm going to be careful when I do give some information out to give you the whole picture. I'm not going to just I'm going to take a snapshot because then it turns into rhetoric. Then it turns into, I'm just saying one piece of it, but I'm not telling what we say. Context of conversation is very important. You could go and take a piece of just a snippet of what we said on this whole show tonight and cut it up and make it the most offensive shit you ever heard in your life. But then you say, well, what was the context of that conversation? Now we talking about why was that said and how was it insinuated? I don't want to take y'all too deep. I'm not trying to be a philosopher. I'm just saying be careful because there are people who are sheep. There are people who follow because they don't want to read the book. They don't want to read the book. They just want, okay, that's what Tariq said. That's what Umar said. Then you put all of them together and you got Tariq, Umar, Johnson, Jones, Jenkins, Al-Samba, Shah Salik. And everything that they said, you'll remix it and sound deep as a motherfucker when you don't know your asshole from your elbow. You got your own self confused. I'm just saying, cipher through the information, man. Look through it. Ewok says white women benefited more. He don't give a fuck what I'm talking about. Earl Henny said, get rid of all the old white men in office. Right? I agree with that. I think if you were born before a certain time, you have no capacity to understand the way the world is now. Mm-hmm. That goes in our own community. There's some black people who need to sit their ass down because they can't get over the way shit was. They ain't up on. They can't even talk to young people. You know, it's some old black people who are very accomplished who couldn't even get a 16, 17-year-old's attention to save their life. They don't understand it. They don't understand the kids. They'll tell you, I don't get these kids. These children, they don't know what I used to pick cotton. These kids ain't pick no goddamn cotton. Yeah. You can't come to them with that. Y'all know what I use. They be like, we don't give a fuck. We talk about today going forward. That's where my certified professional life coach licensure comes in at. Because I've learned as a life coach that we're not worried about yesterday. We're worried about today and tomorrow. You are who you are. What are you going to do with yourself? What adjustments do you want to make? What's your goals? Where do you want to go in life? Who do you want to be? Do you advocate for yourself? This is how I talk to my clients, y'all. Just putting it out there. If anybody want a session, right, hit me up, right? We'll talk about how much it costs per hour. I'm about to really start advertising this for real because most people can't focus on the now because they caught up on yesterday. And
yeah,
so,
I agree with you.
And when you ask them, because you can sit and listen to somebody complain, yeah, man, my foot hurt, my blood pressure high, damn house got roaches, the kids so bad, my boyfriend left me, my girlfriend cheated on me, my cousin on dope. They can tell you all of that, but then when you say, in a perfect world, how would you have it? What do you want for yourself? They'll say, they don't know. They don't have no clue. Because all they've been doing is complaining their whole life and being told all the bad shit. You know we can't do nothing. You know we can't have nothing. You know the white man won't let us. The white man. We used to be slaves. We were slaves. We still slaves. We ain't free. Oh, Lord. They get like, shit, fuck it. Why should I care? I'm just a slave anyway.
Lord, ass nigga.
But believe it or not, though, there's a lot of people that don't want to talk about slavery, though.
You goddamn right.
So like, I try to have conversations like with my girlfriend and my moms and friends and stuff. Me and my one guy, we talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't want to talk about politics. They don't want to talk about current. They don't want to talk about shit. I'll be like, oh my God, it bothers me. You know, that's why this is an outlet for me because you just don't know. Like I be intellectually, deprived because most of the people that I deal with on a fucking daily basis don't have these conversations, and I don't have nobody to talk to but myself and to watch, documentaries and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, man, people just don't know, like it's just crazy. But yeah, though, then, that's why I think we so stuck on, I don't want to vote for Kamala. Because they not looking, they don't know all the bullshit that Donald Trump did and, looked up shit, knowing that he pulled shit out the EPA, raised taxes and this, that, and the other. They keep on looking at, I got $1,400. Yeah.
What
I'm saying?
I don't know if it's that people don't want to talk about it. I think people don't necessarily understand everything about it. So, you dance where you comfortable at. And so, if all of us, and I love this, I'm the 2B king, right? And so this series with this certain group of brothers and sisters from LA, Big Ja and all these people, they make these YouTube shorts. And one of them is called The Whole Crew Stupid. And it's usually the one dude out the crew who went to school talking to his homies. And most of them are dumb as a box of rocks, but they act like they're geniuses and they act like he's the one who's fucked up in the head. So you got to watch it, right? Like this dude's talking about on there, he don't wear condoms when he has sex because he got the vaccine. So
wow, that's misinformation.
Right, well, his logic, you got to watch the whole thing. Like, and this guy sitting there like, dude, wait a minute, what did you just say? Like, no, just because you got he like, if I got the vaccine, then how can I get any kind of disease because I'm vaccinated? He had no clue what the vaccine was. He just went and took it. And dude's explaining to him like, it don't even prevent you from getting COVID, dummy. So it's that kind of thing. I digress, but y'all get what I'm saying. And that's just in response to you saying, when you talk to some of your guys, I mean, if all my guy know is Packer football, we can talk about Packer football.
But
and
I
my
was just thinking from this.
You said you
I
just
know
what?
a bunch of black men that just feel like, real pro-Trump. And it isn't that they hate Kamala or hate women, but I think, people, your timeline shows you damn near what you want to see. Whatever the fuck you're trying to feed into, it's going to feed into it, or whatever you thinking it's going to give you that. So if you think, well, Trump might help with this, it's like niggas' timelines be giving them that shit. So I think it's a lot of misinformation, plus all that random bullshit being pushed on their timeline. Because I don't hear nobody talking about the $1,400. Man, Trump is really a good businessman. He gonna keep us out of war. And
based on what when he's declared bankruptcy, how many times?
I don't know what niggas be knowing, but if you can hear the things they be saying, they be having a whole bunch of reasons of their own. It's like, I don't know. And then the reasons is just some shit they saw on the internet, just some videos, just some clips. That's all everybody got right now.
And I promise y'all be careful with these phones. These phones are listening to us. That AI shit is already in effect. And I'm going to tell you how I know. Last Friday, right? Just at Friday, finna be the weekend. I'm an empty nester now. I have no chaps here with me. It's just me. What we going to eat, baby? I don't know. You're not women. I don't know. What do you want to eat? Now, come on. Tell me. I could go for a salad. You want a salad? I don't really want to know. I thought you can go. So I just made the decision. I did the manly thing and said, I'm doing Jamaican. Going to Fireside, right? I go in Fireside, I get my food, but I order escovitch, snapper. I don't know if you've ever eaten this, red snapper escovitch, which is a very delicious fish dish, Jamaican. I ordered it. I paid for it. I come home, I eat it. It was fire, by the way. If you want some Jamaican food, go to Fireside, right here on Capitol. I'm trying to tell you. I've been to the Upper Yard. I've been to the other places. I'm sorry.
They veggie rolls is top tier.
Thank you for representing for the vegans.
Hey, they got cabbage and red beans and rice in their veggie rolls.
Oh, well, it's rice and peas. Come on, ain't it?
Well, wait, call it what you want. Tomato.
I got corrected. I got corrected by my wife because cabbage and
Lord have mercy. I can't wait to try that.
And she said, I said this red beans and rice good. She said it's peas. It's peas.
They do call it rice and peas.
Right. I was like, okay, whatever. It was fire.
Hey, I still be in that motherfucker. Hey, yeah, the rice and beans come in it too, right?
Right.
Know your ass, American, right? He's foundational black. But no, my point is, it's been several instances where we were sitting around talking about something. And I picked up my phone, like Courtney said, and looked at my timeline. And guess what popped up? Because I done seen 7 recipes for escovitch since I ate that at Fireside. coming down my timeline, cleaning the red snapper, cutting it, all the seasoning. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was never seeing this shit before. So these phones are listening, man. They are, everything around us is listening. All this. So for everybody who like, man, them niggas snitched, man, ain't nobody got snitch on you no more. I mean, I know these dudes do crimes, and it's funny because they think they got away, and they done got the girl, they done threw away the pistol, and they done hid the clothes and burnt the car. And when they pick them up, they show them a security camera from a light post. Show them doing the whole fucking crime.
Everything. Like, you ain't doing no crimes, no. They
You
just
turn around and look at the camera on the way out the gas station, like,
man.
Damn.
And your cell phone be pinging too.
Yes, they can prove you was in the area.
I thought everybody learned that on First 48. I thought we learned to leave our phones at the crib a while ago.
We watch First 48 and just laugh at them with the food. They will feed a nigga quick. And you know, I guess you said, and I never, the only time I went to jail and they did handcuff me to the desk and they were asking me stuff. And I was like, no, I don't know. But they never offered me no food. I'm not gonna say the outcome would have been different if they'd offered me, but they didn't offer me nothing to eat, right? Like,
I got me some Chipotle. Okay, I might have some for you. Listen,
so if they would have offered him Chipotle, he would have been in the emergency room.
I'd have shitted all over the room, right?
Hell yeah.
I wouldn't eat that thick ass bologna sandwich though. Somebody at Cass was tripping on me because I knew I was getting out. So I'm like, I'm not eating that. Brother's like, shit, hey man. Hey, just get it and give it to me. Like, here, man. Dude's like, I've been down here 2 weeks, man. Fuck what you talking about? But no, I didn't do that. But let's see, Mama Jenkins is in the chat room. I didn't eat the food, I'm saying. And they didn't offer me none, so I didn't tell on my guys. So I know people say, kid, you ain't tell what happened after they gave you the sandwich. She said, we are our biggest fucking enemy. We can't even agree on what to put on a damn hamburger. Dion Project 2025 is fucked up, period, she said. Mama Jenkins representing with the Outlaws as usual, letting it fly. Love it. Earl Henny said they said we fucked up when they turned boys and girls clubs, when they turned boys clubs into boys and girls clubs. You know, some people blame this all on the point that gay marriage was passed. I've heard that argument that gay marriage set off a wave of just debauchery and loss of moral fiber in this country. I've heard people blame that on saying everything was all good because marriage in itself, the concept of it, the sanctity of it was held up. It's between a man and a woman. We have very strict and straight gender rules. But as soon as you say, hey, two gay people can get married, everything else came into the game. Now people say I'm non-binary. I ain't even got no gender. I'd be like, what? Mm-hmm. Like, what? That's all become a thing. All of this stuff, they were empowered by their right to be able to get married. And there are people who say, as soon as we said gay marriage was legal, that fucked society up. I don't know if that's true or not. I know that there's a difference between how genders were addressed before gay marriage and after. I'm not saying that that's responsible for unleashing a wave of evil on the world, but I'm saying there are some differences in how we talked about gender before and now, right? Like, so now
was actually speaking about the Boys and Girls Club.
Who was doing that?
Earl. Are we talking about his comment about the Boys and Girls Club? I mean,
yeah.
I thought we were actually talking about
Dion said, no, Dion referenced, he referenced gay marriage. Earl was saying, people are saying we were fucked when they turned the boys clubs into boys and girls club. What I was saying was people also blame it on gay marriage. Okay. Is the correlation between the two. Mama Jenkins said, KB, my first school was Seaford on 14th and Cherry, and it's still standing, and children that live in that neighborhood go there. I've been out of school since 1969, and it's a disgrace that had to happen to a public school here in this city. So once again, just go vote. But remember, people died to vote. Trump has told these people, this might be your last time you get to vote. Mm-hmm. Trump is this motherfucker says anything. He says whatever. I seen him the other day.
He was talking to the Christians though.
Yeah, I know, but he was talking about going into a black barbershop and he felt like black barbers could get his hair right. No, they can't, Trump. They can't help you with your hair.
That's a comb over, my guy.
You fucked that, say. Earl Henny said the problem is, Kevin, they can't read the book. When I said don't just read the cover and the back, He said the problem, they can't read the book.
Yeah.
Then stop waving it around like you deep. I follow the readings of Dr. Fume Afabawale. And most of them, and if it's somebody by that name, I'm sorry. But I don't be knowing these people who, because sometimes you study long, you study wrong. You've made it too complicated for yourself to move forward. Because you don't know, it's like, damn, I don't, what they call it, paralysis by analysis. You just standing there looking. He said, I have beef patties in Jamaica, and at Fireside, I thought I was in Jamaica. I didn't try to beef patties. I didn't try to be
the same thing, Dion. I'm like, shit, where is this Fireside we speak of? On what, 60th and Capitol, Appleton, Capitol, of course?
Capitol and Appleton, right up in there.
76, yeah.
Between 76 and Appleton.
Yeah.
Capitol, right
where
there.
Stella J's used to be.
Yeah, Stella
That's
J's.
what I thought. Okay.
Next door to McDonald's.
Oh, right behind the currency exchange or something right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That little
Right
shop
there.
the parking is horrible. But look, I went in there. I wasn't impressed when I first walked in. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be some bullshit. I was like, oh, hell no. But because it's just very casual how they just going about business. But man, and I tell you something else. Both times, we talking about Jamaican food now, y'all. Fuck it. Both times I've gone, well, not both times, but I used to go to Upper Yard because my wife likes jerk chicken and she likes brown stew chicken. So
delicious.
I like goat myself. I became partial to the goat. I would go to the Upper Yard, and I'm telling you, I would call and wait 30 minutes, and sometimes I go in there and have to wait 45 more minutes.
Hold on now. Don't tell them stories now.
Their service was terrible.
They moved now. They've expanded. I'm hoping they're running out because I want to knock a black business.
It still take that 30 minutes, Kev.
And it didn't stop me from going because I kept going. Yeah. Because I was like, when my wife was like, "What against Jamaican?" Okay, but so and
I ain't been there in 2 years.
When I ordered the fish and I got her brown stew and chicken and a side of jerk chicken, I said this finna take forever. So I just kicked back. Shit wasn't long. Number 34. Like what? Can't be me. Man, I got to the house, boy, with no conversation. All you heard was chewing. I'm trying to tell you, that food's good, man. I'm going back because I got to do the beef patties and I got to try the goat because I did, like I said, I did the escovitch, which was delicious, man. I'm going to do my own. Because I know where to get the red snapper at. I can go to Empire or it's in some other place where they sell the red snapper. So, yeah. And
well, they got some good fish there. I need to buy some fish, too.
Empire.
Well, I mean,
my gal coming up here from Chicago. I want to make her some catfish fillets.
Well, if you're talking about catfish, just go to Pick and Save or Metro Market, like something like that.
I don't want none of that old rag-ass catfish. I want some nice, good catfish.
You go to Metro Market. That's the fancy store.
Right. You said I don't want none of that rag-ass catfish. I want some real catfish.
Right. Go to the fancy fish.
Just don't get swai. What is it? Sway? SWAI. What is it? Swai or sway?
Swai?
Imitation. It's imitation. It's a low budget catfish, more of like a derivative of catfish. I think it's South America.
God.
Yeah.
They always getting us.
It's cheaper.
I mean, but what's wrong with swai? Swai may be healthier.
Well, no, but it's supposedly it has a bad rep for the quality of the meat and where it actually their habitat where they come from. Now, if it's all farm raised,
I don't fuck with tilapia.
That's what I was going to say because farm raised, they'll tell you don't eat farm raised tilapia because it's just very bad for you and it's raised like they're filthy. But there's some natural tilapia that are good. So, but what I'm saying is, if you don't mind paying money for seafood, go to Empire Seafood. Yeah. Because you go in there, you get Chilean sea bass, you'll get cod, you'll get not cod, but walleye and trout and all of that stuff. Because when I want to, really get it in, I go up there and get some fish. And it costs.
Yeah, I'm not a fish person like that. I just like catfish and red snapper. I like gator meat too. You fuck with some gator meat, but I like it fried though.
I've eaten
gator. When I be going down,
I've eaten
when
gator.
I be going down south for shit.
And I've eaten frog legs. I like frog legs too. So
yeah, I like frog legs.
I'm country.
I ain't never had no turtle and all that shit though.
My mom a very, very long time ago made turtle soup. Well, she had some turtle soup. And I didn't, as a little kid, I just remember tasting it and the smell was just like, I was just like, nah, I never partook in that. I think the most exotic thing I probably ever ate was some fried rabbit. So,
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't had no raccoon, no squirrels, no what?
Nah, I was squirrel. I did eat squirrel growing up. I couldn't fade the raccoon. No. My uncles did raccoon and possum. I couldn't fade. The feet on the raccoon always bothered me. Like when it's in the pan.
See, my people don't have the whole little body just with feet and stuff. I don't know. Maybe they did, but I know it'd be shredded, a little sweet potato, it'd be that little sauce. It's an incredible thing.
Like a rat, a big ass rat.
See, I don't see the faces or anything.
Hell yeah, I ain't about to eat no
right. I mean, that's how it when it be a whole little
none of that shit.
My father used to do the squirrels. He used to hook them up because he knew how to clean them. And then they're very gamey, so he would have, I don't know if it was salt and vinegar or whatever it was. He let them soak overnight, and it took away a lot of the gaminess. A lot of people say with lamb chops, you have to do that too. You have to really get the gaminess out of them. So, but I'm talking real cook food. I'm a real chef. I don't know if other people really, does what I does with the food. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
You wash your meat off. You let your meat soak. You wash it off. What you do?
First of all, let me say no diddy. Just in case somebody's tuning in, no diddy. I wouldn't want nobody to be like, let me check out what they talking about tonight, and they tune in. You wash your meat off? You wash your meat? Like, oh hell no, they done went too far with this outlaw shit. You're supposed to wash all meat. I don't wash ground beef off because I think that get pretty messy. No, I eat ground beef. I just don't wash it off.
What I do with my meat is I let my meat soak in apple cider vinegar and some salt. I like to marinate my food. Like, I can't just throw the season on the cooker right then and there. I prefer to marinate it 24 hours, but I'd rather, like if it's something speedy, I do like maybe 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? You got to let the seasoning cook in. I put a little binder on there, maybe some mayonnaise or something, mustard, Dijon mustard.
Dijon.
Because you want the seasoning.
Dijon
Dijon.
Not Dijon.
Yeah,
You want Coupe de Ville on it.
You want it to stick though. Like I just had some jerk chicken the other day and shit. I make the jerk chicken sauce, the paste, to stick it on there, and I slapped it on the grill, boy, and I put it in aluminum foil, and woo!
So anytime we'll do jerk here at the house, it does have to sit. Like my wife will make it up and put the chicken in there. You don't just throw that on the grill. It does have to sit for an hour or two at least. And that's at least before you. So yeah, we do this. I do the same thing with the jerk, except it be hot as hell because the shit you get from like Metro Market, the jerk sauce I've never seen it mild. That shit be hot. I'm talking about like you'll be like, oh, what the hell is this? But yeah, man, y'all got me talking about food. And the holidays coming up now. I ain't got no kids here with me. I'm gonna have to. My whole barbecue menu is slashed. I don't even know what I'm gonna cook. I think I'm just gonna do like chicken wings and shish kebabs. Like, I don't know if I can get away with doing a whole slab of ribs and sausages and hamburgers and hot like I used to do. And now my wife is like, remember when you light this grill? It's just us two here. Don't do all this because I believe in throwing every piece of meat in the house on the grill when I light it up. Like, seafood, everything. Like get them potatoes. I cut an onion up and wrap it in aluminum foil and put it on the grill.
You can always call us, come grab plates now. You know what I'm saying? You can have some to-go plates already fixed up for folks, and we just grab it and go. Don't forget about us now.
We love each other so much on this show, but don't nobody share it with nobody. Because
Grail shares his mind. You want
a collard green, not a beet, not a.
Hey man, look, my collard greens ain't doing good this year. I don't know what's going on. No. They ain't collared. My collard greens ain't collared. I don't know what's going on, man. They out of shape. I think it's some kind of bug that's in my garden eating my greens or something, man.
Oh wow!
But everything else is good. You know what I mean? My celery out there, my sunflowers, dog. Hey, look, I'm a sunflower fan now. You know what I mean? I done grew these sunflowers, and man, they fun to watch. You know what I'm saying? It's dope. And then to be able to do the seeds at the end, I just harvested a couple of them. So I got them drying out before I harvest them and, soak them and roast them and stuff like that.
There you go.
But I'm a whole sunflower fan, man. Like how they move with the sun. Like in the morning you wake up, they facing the east. And then in noon, they upright. And then they go to the other side. You know what I mean? Face
what
west.
They do at night.
They dope, man.
What they do at night? Just put their head down?
Much. They put their head down and go to sleep.
Yeah.
He nodding like a heroin addict and shit.
Man, that was I never heard that before.
I knew sunflowers did that. Yeah.
They dope, man. They fun to watch. And they huge. Like I had one that was one of them was huge, man. I swear that motherfucker had to been about 12 to 13 feet tall,
Once you
man.
take the seeds, do they die?
Well, the seeds is in the flower, right? You cut the flower off, and you just leave it and let it dry out. And then you take it's a top layer of like flowering type stuff. It's soft. It look like cotton. And then
Okay.
you rub that off, and right under that is where all the seeds are.
Okay.
And then you take the seeds out, soak them in water and whatever type of seasoning you want to season them, and you roast them.
Yeah, my mom would do that with pumpkin seeds and with peanuts.
Mm-hmm.
She never did sunflowers. Earl said, "Why you think they made the phones? You can't take the batteries out anymore. You sure can't."
Right.
You know, we used to be able to flip the SIM card. I can't look.
Hell yeah.
There's no way in. There's no way in. So, yeah, and ain't no telling what the hell is in this phone. Really, we talk on
Man,
these
so
phones.
motherfucking hot.
We don't know what's in these phones. Yeah, just look. I'm gonna use mine because we all addicted to them. Like all of us. Leave the house without your phone. And especially if you be like, well, forget it. I done left now. I'm only running around the corner. You gonna pat your pockets 8? God damn, I wish I had my
Hell
phone.
yeah, on my mama. I slapped skins before and got to reach over there and check my phone though. Motherfucker like, damn, you right now? I'm like, shit, that motherfucking shit. I got to check this phone. I ain't got mine though, shit. I don't know what you gonna do. I'm for real, but I'm about to check this phone out.
I don't care. I don't care what we talk about. Dion take it straight to the ghetto.
Oh, my mama, motherfucker.
Straight to the hood.
On the real, a motherfucker been whamming before that phone get to vibrating and shit. It throw you all off. You gotta, because I used to get money on my phone though. Now it's like, okay, somebody, might be my mama.
It is awkward if, and you as a man, if you are with a woman and her phone goes to vibrating, she'd be like, hold on. You'd be like, hold on, what the fuck you doing? Like that does make for a very awkward moment. That's that's like the little boy at the door talking about, mama, I can't sleep.
Ooh, that throw me off right there.
Shh. Don't say that. He said, Mama Jenkins said, I do want it to be on. She said, I don't want to be on Watertown Plank Road. I always soak my fish in salt. Okay. It's not far from my house. And I go to Bunzel's too. They have a lot of good seafood as well.
Hell yeah, Bunzel's got some good food. I just was there this weekend.
Because I found the Dungeness crab claws in there, and because I wanted some crab, but I didn't want the whole thing because I don't know how to eat them, and I don't want to be eating the wrong shit. So I just got the crab claws and put them in a kind of a thing we did like a boil. It was good. He said, "Good looking for your dog when you cook the raccoon. Go looking for your dog when you cook the raccoon." Yeah, just not. He said he can come by and eat. You know what? I don't know. I think my brother is probably gonna catch dibs on that. Like, what you got over there? I might have to just do something exotic because I will just go get a pork tenderloin just to fuck with people and put it on.
Do a gator. They got gators. You can buy a baby gator farm raised like $175.
No, the gator ain't.
Smoke that bitch.
No, not this one. Not this one. This is gonna be the first one that I ain't. Like I said, I don't barbecue. The last 20 years, my daughter's 21. The last 21 years I've barbecued is with the fact that I have children in the house. So we gonna do corn and all kinds of shit. And it just be food all in the refrigerator. And then like after about the 5th day, you be like, I don't want to see another fucking rib tip. I'm tired of eating barbecue. I will still eat the shit. Cause late at night, I'll come in there, But now I ain't gonna be allowed to do that. So I'm gonna have to pick my favorites. I think I'll take advantage of it this time and make a really special. From now on, when I barbecue, I'll make a special entree. So I'll pick one thing. So if I say I'm gonna do a brisket, then that time I'll do a brisket. If I'm gonna do a shoulder, I'll do a shoulder. So I'm gonna pick a special piece of culinary art. So, but yeah, that's just Monday is that holiday, right? So yeah. But look,
Labor Day. We celebrating the white man holiday.
There we go. They all the white man's holidays, even Martin Luther King Day. This is crazy because I see in Philadelphia there's a rapper. He's a drill rapper, and I can't remember his name. Whatever, fuck his name.
Oh, I think his name is Dul, D-U-L. I think it's YBG or something like that. But his name is Dul.
YBC.
Okay.
But they call him Mr. Disrespectful.
Oh,
exactly.
Oh my God, this nigga was disrespectful. Man, listen.
rapping.
Yeah, remember I told you, I'm like, I be watching YouTube and I be watching these drill rappers. I learn about them, and then right after that, bam, they gone.
They get
Gone.
killed.
That's how it's been the last few months, right?
Mm.
But him, I just got hip to him. I'm watching the video, the white dudes that did the Kia Boy video here. They interviewed him, right?
Okay.
Man, let me tell you, this brother was in the graveyard, had a shovel, made the appearance that he was digging the grave up of a nigga who he killed.
Oh.
24 hours after that, or no, probably not 24 hours after that, but I know it was shortly after that, they caught up with him, took him out the game.
He was murdered.
He on a video talking about how he never been shot at. He out here in the streets. He ain't one of the rappers that go to the studio and then hide in the house. Shit.
How'd that work out for you?
Yeah, man.
The conversation was had or is being had about drill rap. And I've heard some people say drill rap is the worst thing not only to happen to black people, but to hip hop, but to black people in general the last 20 years. And I started thinking about it, and I'm always hesitant about how I critique the young people's music because of the school of rap that I kind of was raised on. And so I'm always talking about some of the stuff that was available when I was coming up, some E-Sham, some Gangster Nip. You know, there was some
Hope Scarface all right too, man.
well, you know, I hope give me time, we'll get to that. Give me that. Damn, Dion, hold on. That's how you get hung up on.
All right.
Or muted, I should say, not hung up on, but muted. But no, so I want to see how everybody felt. Is drill rap the word? Because hip hop ain't been the same since drill rap came along.
Man, you know what drill rap is? Drill rap is a way for these little niggas to sell their soul to crash out.
Okay.
That's it, man.
Okay.
Like they get into it, they get some publicity right quick. It seems like they get money off YouTube, and that's their aim, right? Or YouTube or whatever it is.
Get a record deal. Chief Keef,
and, you know what I mean? Get a quick, cheap record deal or something. You know what I'm saying? They get some money right quick, and then they crash out because they got to keep up this image. They got to uphold this image or even make it worse. You know what I'm saying? Once they do start getting some action, now they really got to put on. Like, dog, it's like they selling their soul just to crash out and die.
I think the original drill rappers in Chicago, where it originated, I think these brothers were really repping what was going on around them. This was their actual life, right? So I happened to sit through this documentary with my son about King Von and about how O Block became O Block and all this kind of stuff. And so what they were rapping about, this is what they were doing on a daily basis. In this case, the art imitated the life. I think people who came along after that kind of grabbed onto it and took it to a whole other level. And then it became, like you said, Kamar, now I can get paid from this shit and get a little record deal and get some notoriety. But there's forces that you're dealing with, because this whole thing about smoking your enemy, I'm smoking on whoever pack, a Tuka pack and all this kind of stuff. And they're there's just pissing on graves and people. That's where the whole unfolding them grave, all this whole wrinkle in the hip hop fabric comes from drill rap. I cannot say it is the worst thing to happen to hip hop or to black people, because I think much worse things have happened to black people. Like the whole crack epidemic is worse than drill rap could ever be.
I think it's arguably one of the worst things to happen to hip hop.
Okay, now this is where I'm going, because what we just talked about is the level of disrespect in drill rap, right?
Right.
But when I hear Tupac in 1995 say, "That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker,"
yeah,
you know, when I hear him talk about my fofo make all y'all kids die slow. When I hear Tupac telling Dre that they letting Jerry Heller sodomize them, and you know, calling them coons and Uncle Tom. I've heard some severe diss songs over the years. If you're not up on hip hop diss songs, you got to really go and do a deep dive, because there's been some dudes who really said some shit about some dudes. DJ Quick the other day I had to change the song. I was listening to Dollars and Cents, and he said, I never had my sucked by a man before, but you're gonna be the first, you little trick ass whore, and I'm gonna show you just how it tastes. Right before I nut, I shoot some piss in your face. This DJ Quick said this in 1995 to MC8.
Yeah,
Like, what? So, are we really blaming drill rap?
Hey, look. Well, we can't blame drill rap, but see, I think the difference is in drill rap, they talk about each other and then go kill each other. Did none of them niggas back in the day kill each other?
Well, there's a young man who was at an MC8 concert in California, and that's what ended their beef. And Quick was in the crowd, and it got jumped off, and he got stomped to death. He lost his life behind it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we all know what happened to Tupac and Biggie, right? Like,
Yeah, right.
Same kind of connections, Kamar. I'm saying Skylar Rock was murdered in 1987.
But then, Kev, we can use our platform to take that and show them also, like, this is why we know what we're talking about.
But there's parallels. There's parallels. Our
favorite rappers got took out too.
Skylar Rock was murdered in 1987 in a dispute over a girl trying to stick up for D Nice.
But you know, that wasn't even about rap though.
No, but it's the streets.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, violence and rap have always kind of, one of the biggest knocks on Puffy is what happened with him with the University of New York, SUNY, back in the days when he had the concert and it was overpacked and they trampled and the doors was locked, but they was locked from you couldn't open them from the inside. People got stomped, people got crushed. In 1988, they made a song called Self-Destruction.
Yep.
And what they were talking about on the song is the murder at hip-hop shows, at hip-hop concerts, beefs that associate from one block rapping against like you bring the beef to the club. We're all in the same gang. It's the same thing. And I remember there's a rapper named Tweety Bird Loke a long time ago who came out who was dissing Easy. And it was gang. He was a real gang member. It was really gang stuff on the song. Cats was getting shot at. Like, it was going down. We just didn't know because it wasn't no internet. It wasn't no cameras, right?
Okay, dig this. You're right. I mean, I agree with you. I'm saying, really, I'm just talking about the different layers, the different levels of from back to now. You know what I mean? Now it's more like, all right, y'all, young niggas, you got your opportunity to crash out. Give you a couple dollars, crash out right quick. It wasn't like that back then. Like, these motherfuckers had beef because of street shit a lot of the time. You know what I mean? And these drill rappers got beef because of street shit. But for some reason, they are getting more exploited. You know what I mean? I guess it's because we love to watch this shit. Because I was just saying that when I was watching it the other morning. I'm like, shit, I like to watch this shit.
Same thing with Tubi movies. I realized my homeboy was saying the shit that we watch, like, we watch a lot of drama. I mean, it may not be love and hip hop drama, but movies with drama or some just the drama of things.
I cannot let you ride on Tubi though, Courtney. I be
watching it too. I be watching it too. It be some good ass movies with some drama. I be like,
I mean, there's all kinds of fucked up marriages, and everybody. A lot of times, everybody dies in the movie, right? It's like, damn, he killed his wife, and then the boyfriend come behind him and shoot him, and when he walk out the house, somebody else shoot him. I'm like, whoa, like,
that's guilty. Wow, I be like,
guilty. When I can't find nothing else on TV, I turn to Tubi.
Yeah.
Like,
sometimes I just go right to Tubi.
Just right. I'm finna watch some Tubi. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it be.
You know what? I was on
Part 8 and shit.
The little channel All Black has some decent ass movies. I don't know if the movie's on Tubi too, but I was on my Amazon Prime and All Black has some really good movies. I was like,
I never checked out All Black because at that time I had already jumped on Tubi and the train had left the station.
I think I got it free or something happened, so the movies was popping up randomly. It ain't free no more. It's gone, but.
Oh, is it gone?
Yeah, yeah, it was free for a second. I like when it's free. I think we had it, but they must have started charging because we don't do cable, we stream. I cut
Time Warner was on some bullshit with me. I don't know if they just had a personal vendetta. I don't know what it was. Like, I was to the point where I was trying to cancel. Like, okay, if I cancel my cable and call y'all back, can I get the new deal that y'all offering new customers? Unfortunately, Mr. Barnes, you wouldn't qualify. How the fuck I don't qualify if I cancel it? Well, because our records will show that you canceled it. Like, it's like, y'all know what? I'm cool. And so we just stream. Everything in the house is smart anyways. If it's not, you get a Roku and you got a smart TV. So yeah, I'm like Kamar. Sometimes I come in the house like, you know what? I feel like a good Tubi movie tonight. So I end up watching Loyalty Before Betrayal Part 7 and shit.
Right.
And always be mad at the end, like that's a dumbass ending. Like
Yeah.
Hey man, we critique the motherfucker all through the movie and everything.
Come on, man. But I'd rather watch us than, give my support elsewhere. Because there are a lot of young black actors, writers, directors. Like, there's going to be some celebrities to come from this.
Yeah.
Like, especially some of those Detroit cats, they're already showing, because their movies have gotten progressively better and better. Because when I first started watching them, I used to be like, oh, hell no. But now you watch them, you be like, oh, they getting kind of real, like, sophisticated with their shit.
Yeah, you know which actors and actresses look for. You know when it's a good movie. Like, oh, folks in this? Oh, this
Right.
gonna be good.
Pain, I'm watching this. Diesel, I'm watching like it's crazy. It's crazy. And then now they crossing over, and I'm waiting because I got something in the works coming up because I got to break this all down and change this all around. This whole
We finna make a movie?
Well, no, I was going to say I'm gonna get. I right now tentatively the plan is I have access to Swift Sloan, who is the writer and director and producer of a great number of these Milwaukee movies. And the plan right now is to get him on a real exclusive interview and start to talk about what the impact of us being able to see ourselves here. Like when I watch a Milwaukee movie, and believe me, some of them are good. Some of them are like, oh, shit, that's fucked up. That's bad. Yeah. But it does something to see the city. When I say, damn, that's right down the street. Like it's a good look for us. And I also think that it will provide motivation for young and upcoming, because for so long when it comes to anything artistic, rapping, singing, dancing, people say, man, you ain't gonna make it in Milwaukee. Oh, hell no. That's how you get the name Milwaukee rapper. He's a Milwaukee rapper, right? But when you start seeing this kind of thing, there's outlets and avenues now nationally for young creatives to be able to express themselves. So when we start to broaden the stories, because it goes from, okay, it's all about dope dealers, it's all about the strip club, to, well, let's talk about romance, and let's talk about relationships, and let's talk about a man trying to get redemption. Like, that's what you start to see on Tubi with the Detroit movies. The stories start to be expanded instead of just, okay, it's this dope gang against this dope gang, and we had war, right? Mm-hmm. Now it starts to be about relationships. Oh, a woman who has a good man but dogs him for a nigga who ain't shit ends up feeling the brunt pain because the nigga who ain't shit ultimately dogs her.
Oh, I've seen that movie. That was wonderful.
Yeah, it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. It
actually is a lot like that, ain't it? Look,
yeah, well, and vice versa. It'd be the man who's the womanizer, and he got all the women, and then all of a sudden they get together and plot and set him up, and he go to a party, and they all there, and I'm telling you, it goes crazy on Tubi, man. If y'all stop being
and that be the plot damn near every time you see a movie like that.
Well, you know, within the first 5 minutes of what kind it's gonna be.
You seen the movie where he tried to get his best friend killed?
Hold on, what you say, Courtney?
You seen the movie where he tried to get his best friend killed? You know, he's paranoid.
Which one? Like Kamar said, that's
right.
I told you, Friends Over Family, part 19 and shit. You'd be like, oh, they done made another one.
I didn't know it was a part 2. I seen it. I was like, oh, what? And I think a part 3 coming. I was like, nigga.
Well, that Trust Nobody here in Milwaukee it was a part 3, and I was like, how they got a part 3? And they pulled it off, but they went to Detroit. It was a crossover with Detroit. So. But I want to get back to shout out to Tubi, man, and shout out to all the independent dudes who putting their twos and fuse together. Because if we really wanted to, right now, technology is to the point, and like we could make our own movie. We could put together a show. We could produce. That's why I'm moving more towards changing to more of a black newscast than just a freestyle panel. I'm looking more to make things more official and because I think we need to get more sophisticated with our delivery in terms of showing people what's what, right? And so there's a part. It's always going to be a place for Outlaw Radio because you need to be able to get loose sometimes. But there has to be some structure too. So I'm really looking towards my own newscast. That's what I really want. To just and do it so that nobody can even say, oh, well, I would listen if they weren't cursing so much. Or if they, you know, I want to put it official. So people say, no, that shit's real. What can I say about that? That's what it is. So, but yeah, but with the drill rap, I was saying, Kamar, before we leave, I want to close that point out. We are quick as we get older to be super judgmental. We are. I look at Sexy Red and the criticism she takes, and a lot of it's well deserved. Because I seen her lipstick. She has lipstick called Yellow Discharge.
Yeah,
fuck would put this on their mouth, like. But is she to blame for the fall of Black America? No, I don't. I think she's a young lady who found a avenue and said, which one's worse, where I'm at or where I could be? And she said, where I could be is the choice. I'd rather have money. And maybe as she gets older, she'll realize, damn, I really did a disservice to a certain degree. But if I go all the way back to the 70s and listen to Millie Jackson, right? I have footage of Millie Jackson at the Apollo Theater in 1979, walking while she's doing a concert with all the men in the front row, whether they're with a woman or not, saying, let me grab your dick. And she's grabbing everybody's penis. And she's saying, ooh, yours little. Ooh, wee girl. Ooh. And people, Millie, you so funny. Right? So this has been going on for a very long time. Us hip hop purists we love, Black women. Well, Trina, fuck my 4-5 best friends. Right? Lil Kim, I'm about eating sushi, playing with her cooch. Like, this has been going on for a very long time, but as we get older, it's easy to say, look at the young people and say, see, they fucked this all up. This is why hip-hop ain't real no more because of them. Well, what precedent were they following? Right? And if I think about some of this, I keep telling people, I knew I had grown, I knew I had matured when what I was willing to listen to changed. I used to absolutely love Too Short Blowjob Betty. I used to think that song was so dope when I was in high school. I'd walk around singing it in the hallway of the school. Girls be like, I don't know if you've ever listened to it off Get In Where You Fit In, where he talks about he's in the bathroom, and it's just the most horrible song ever. But now I get so high and mighty that I say, oh, she wrong for saying my booty hole brown. When one of my favorite songs involved Too Short talking about he killed a girl in the bathroom because he had an orgasm in her throat so bad that it choked her and she died.
Wait, what?
That's Blowjob Betty. So and we sang along. I bust a nut and killed the bitch. It was like, oh, that's just raw. But now Sexy Red is she's the bane of our existence. And I get, you don't care. We know better now. We know better. Sometimes we got to understand that we got to let these young people get to know better. They got to learn from their experiences too. They can't live through our advice, just like we couldn't live through our parents. Because my daddy was a preacher. He said, boy, what you listening to? I'm like, that's the Ghetto Boys, Pop. Now I know we got to have a sit down. That's not real, right? That's not you. That's not your life. Like, I would get the disclaimer from Pops. Like, I know you're going to listen to it, but let me tell you about some of the stuff I heard these guys talking about on here. And so he had to give me his old, 60-year-old perspective. And I'm sitting there looking at him like, dog, I don't care about none of that. I'm 17. I don't care about none of that, Pop. So, so that's what I said. When my son, when he got into that, I would trick him and say, hey, man, let's watch some videos. He's like, oh, Pop's cool. But I'm watching these videos to see what he's watching. And so now after the video go off, I say, that's all bullshit, right? Even the guns they had, how they was playing with the guns. And it just got to the point where he'd be like, I already know what you finna say, Dad. It's not real. They out of order. That lifestyle leads nowhere. It got to that point where by the time he was 17, he was like, you don't really want to hear the music. You just want to talk to me about the shit I'm listening to. And I did, because I don't want you to think it's cool to be rapping about shooting up somebody's grandmother and then just speeding on like it was, shut up your grandmama, nigga.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Remember that NWA is the world's biggest dick. Don't matter, just somebody. But what you want me to do with it? Oh.
Yeah,
Follow it.
there's a skit.
That's still the shit.
There's a skit on that NWA EP, niggas for not niggas for life. Well, no, that is it, niggas for life, the EP, where they kill a prostitute. If you all remember, Eazy-E, they get the prostitute in the car and whatever, and the negotiations go bad, and so somebody shoots the girl, and Eazy's mad because they shot the girl in his car. This is the skit. How you shoot that bitch in my shit? Fuck her, throw her out the car, keep going. This is what 14-year-old us was listening to. Like you said, it don't matter, just don't bite it. Like we was listening to this shit. So before we are so quick to judge these kids, you got to think about in a lot of cases where they got it from. And our parents have to do the same because where did they get it from?
Not judging.
Say that again.
But what if we teaching and not judging?
That's the way to go. But most of us ain't teaching, Kamar. We criticizing.
You're right.
You know, I agree with you. I think that's very valid. If you're taking the time to teach, right? Okay.
Right.
But
Like,
if you
I can tell you why this ain't good.
But if you just want to tell me how much better hip hop was when you was young,
Right.
like they looking at you like nobody fucking cares.
That's why whenever we go there and we start talking about the music we listen to was fucked up, I can't help but to say, but that's why we could talk about why it ain't good. You know what I mean? Because to me, it's teaching. You know what I mean? I'm trying to teach you why this music ain't good because I saw it wasn't good. What we just talked about, how Tupac and Biggie, you know what I mean? They wound up dying in this music shit. You know what I'm saying? And like these was our favorite rappers. We watched our favorite rappers die too. So here I am telling y'all about this music that ain't conducive to how we should be living. You know what I mean? I'm telling you why I know.
But I think there's a way to convey the message.
Right, you're right.
And sometimes it's what they call lost in translation. It's you know, because I'm not gonna have a conversation with a young man and the conversation is all about me, right? One thing I learned as a football coach is I could either tell this kid how great I was, and I could always talk about why he's not as good as I was, or how players was different when I played and we was tougher and we were stronger, or I could tell him what he needs to do to get better and just stick to that and say, this is what you need to be working on. This is the plan. And this is why we do this. Now, once you get close to the kid and he asks you and say, hey, coach, so you play, huh? Oh, yeah, man. I was a son bitch. For real? What'd you do? Woo, woo, woo. But I can't open up with, ain't none of y'all never going to be tougher than me. I'm already turning them away, right? So when I sit down with a kid and a kid will say to me, man, you know, you couldn't possibly understand where I come from because look at you. Look how you live. You Mr. Educated, you this and that. He might or she would be surprised, he or she would be surprised to know I came from humble beginnings just like you. I stood on the same corners, faced the same dilemmas, made some of the same bad decisions, right? So that's key. Like you said, as long as we teaching and not preaching to them. Preaching has its place, but you got to teach first. Like you go to Sunday school before you hear the sermon. So you can know what he's talking about when he preach. Or else you go to he preach early in the morning, you go to Sunday school later in the afternoon. You got to get an understanding before you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and some of it is horrible, and some of it's corporate, is, you know, greed and it's exploitation of us and all this kind of thing. My whole point is just let's be less judgmental and more educational, more informative, right? Like, and all kids don't want it, but some of them do. But sometimes you got to break through their defense mechanism because they got their guard up because they've been hurt or they can't trust the adults. Every adult that they've been around has fucked them over. Not making an excuse, because if you go out here and you commit a crime, your ass needs to be locked up, right? So I just want us to start looking at things from a different perspective, because we getting old, man, and nobody wants to be around the old dude who swears everything was better when he was old. Oh, I was now young. They ain't got it like that when I was young. It's like nobody wants to fucking hear that. It'll come a time and a place for you to do that. Kamar, what you got going this week, man? You muted. You muted.
Tomorrow I'll be at Alice's Garden and the House of Vitality. I'll be at the House of Vitality early in the day, then I'll be at Alice's Garden tomorrow evening. The rest of the week I'll be at the House of Vitality early in the day. But the House of Vitality will be at Alice's Garden. I forgot the name of the event, but there's a woman's, I forgot what type of event, but it's a women's event going on at Alice's Garden. So the House of Vitality will be there. I won't be there.
Okay.
And then Saturday, I'll be at the Friday market. Saturday Saturday morning, I'll be at the Friday market. Yeah.
Okay.
the days be running together.
Right, you'll figure it out. I'll give you time. You'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out by Saturday.
Yeah, I wanted to say, and Dion alluded to this. I wanted to say, I didn't want to say anything because I don't want to jinx it. Scarface was rushed to the ICU. They said it's possible kidney failure. We know he's had kidney issues before. He has his son's kidney. We talk about dead rappers. We talk about, life is life, right? And say life be lifing. But I'm not ready for Scarface to go yet. So I didn't want to say nothing. I'm just like, I want to let this play out. But Dion kind of did what he did. So
I was a spoiler. That's what you said, Ken.
Well, that's what I get for allowing people to just kind of linger in the background on the phone. Right?
Oh, my God. Come on, man. Don't do me like that, Ken. On the real. We rock this motherfucker to goddamn, we keep going to midnight if that's the case.
But
I don't know.
Our city right now is so crazy, and there's a lot of death and a lot of murder. And I want people to say you care more about a celebrity than you do about your own community, because that's not true. I feel the same way about anybody up here that's lost their life, the people who've lost their life over just craziness. Trust me when I say anything you see nationally printed in a paper or on a website that says Milwaukee is safer or Milwaukee is addressing its issues is a lie. It's a flat out lie. The city is in dire straits. I mean, what didn't a car hit this past weekend? We had a situation now where cars are running into houses. 2 schools have been struck by cars, right?
Crazy work.
We're looking at a situation where our kids may be on the playground playing and it's a high-speed chase. Boom, run across the playground. I was driving down Villard Friday evening, like I said, on my way to get to, in the midst of just moving around. And I'm on the phone. I'm talking to my wife about I'm gonna go to Fireside and woo. I get to Villard, it's all blocked off. It's 5-6 cars in the intersection, smashed up. I'm talking about police everywhere. Police are canvassing the neighborhood. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, dude. Then I'm on the phone with my brother, and I'm telling him, like, dude, it is police everywhere, all the way from Villard and Sherman, all the way down past Custer or Obama. And so, shout out to Lockhart Media. I rocks with Lockhart. Y'all see I share a lot of Lockhart in the People's News Network. You find out that this individual was fleeing the police because he had just shot some people at the shopping mall. Was it Silver Mill on Teutonia? And so he had shot two people. One of them pronounced dead at the scene, and he was fleeing. And then he goes into this car accident and go through the intersection. It's a multiple smash up. Thank God I don't think anybody else perished. But our city is in deep, deep shit. And I know we got politicians who want to walk around and smile and take credit for things they've done and go to conventions and wave and smile. See, for me, this is where my political career would end, because if I was an elected official and I seen the shape that the city of Milwaukee was in, I wouldn't want to be seen anywhere smiling and laughing and having a good time, because I feel like all my energy would be being put into trying to find some solutions. So when I did come out and show my face, they'd be like, we never see you, because I'm always working. I don't got time to be waving and enjoying the balloons at the Democratic National Convention when it's cars running into schools, when it's children being murdered, people murdering each other, putting them in cars, setting the car on fire in the street. How many teenagers and young children did we lose this summer? Too many. And so this is where the correlation and the connecting point for all this is, where when people feel like that their vote doesn't matter, or they say, I'm not going to vote because it don't matter anyways. But when you don't vote and you don't vote as an informed voter, This is what you get. You got all of this crime going crazy in this city, and the police union endorses Trump in a city that's 44% black. Not just minority, black. This is what happens when you don't vote. This is what happens when you say they both fucked up. I'm not going to choose. And I'm not going with that, oh, if you don't vote for Kamala, you're voting for Trump. I'm saying if you don't vote, period, you're voting for Trump. If you don't vote, period, you're voting for Kamala. You're voting for both of the people you dislike because you didn't make a decision regarding either one of them. So it ain't just about you voting for Trump if you don't vote for Kamala. You're voting for Kamala if you don't, if you don't vote, you're voting for her. You're removing yourself from the equation. You saying I have no opinion and I don't care. Well, this is what you get, Milwaukee. This is what you get. You get a city that's governed in the way this city is governed. Look, Mayor Johnson might be a very nice guy, but as a leader in this city right now, he's falling flat on his face. Sorry. It's just the truth. I don't have any problem with DC. And I think, like I said, I think DC's made some moves. But this whole budget deficit is a debacle. And I'm hearing them say, well, they'll probably just take some money from somewhere else where there's extra money and put it on this. Then that would indicate that you had a surplus, which would mean you don't have a budget deficit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you can't talk out both sides of your neck. You got a surplus of 19 million that you can plug a hole with? Then why do you have a deficit in the first place? That would indicate that something is severely mismanaged. And even then, we got an issue. Okay? I'm just saying. Pray for Milwaukee, y'all. Pray for our people, man. Let's pray that we stop fighting each other, man, and start fighting what's really ailing us. It ain't no genius quote. It ain't no super philosophical, deep perspective or saying that I got. Besides, pray for all of us. Pray for everybody. Even if you don't pray for somebody. Because it's going to take something bigger than us to fix this problem. I don't know what you call them. I don't know what deity you worship. I don't know what your religious convictions are. I don't know what your spiritual connections are. But if you got one, it's time to call on it. Don't matter what you call them. Because right now, we in some deep, deep trouble in the city of Milwaukee. Black people, we're in deep trouble. We arguing over whether or not they're going to have a Juneteenth Day event at the lakefront. And it's cars hitting schools. Right? We arguing over whether or not Kamala's black. When the bump outs got more, they've been collided with more than any car. Look at them. They look like they've been through a war. They only been up a year. Signs bent, tire marks. I seen one that was it was split down the middle. I said, what the fuck hit that? This is bad management. This is bad leadership. This is weak leadership. This is lack of vision. And at the end of the day, there's still no economic development plan for us. Wake up, man. Open your eyes. Pay attention. Don't be so easily led astray, y'all. But what do I know? I'm just a podcaster. I see y'all Monday, man. Peace and love. Check us out Wednesday. It's going to be a dope show.